All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to another episode of I don't know whatever this podcast is called. Today we're gonna kind of pick up where we left off a little bit on the last one. Today's guests are we got a whole slew of people. So Nikos and Kevin have both made their return, and then we also brought Pop Q2, both the Rocket Sloth boys this time, and my friend Sempra. So
Cloud Zero CEO.
Yeah, sorry, Cloud Zero CEO. So we
missed the last one.
Yeah, the last one formed because I was gonna do a collab with Sean W, and he's like, "Why don't we just do a podcast instead?" Because you don't want to play the game. So he was ahead of the game like 2 months ago.
I remember that one. I was sleeping anyway. So
Yeah, wait, who still plays Halo Infinite? The fuck?
Unfortunately, I did today, and I hated it.
I hopped on, the UI wouldn't load, and I got off.
That's good. That's good.
Oh man.
Oh god,
I think I've spent more time in Halo 5.
Can I tell you my experience with Halo Infinite today?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I logged in, I was streaming with some of my viewers, and we were playing some big team. B broke on strongholds on big team, so the match just timed out because no one could capture B. And in the same match, the loading screen glitch happened, and then we tried to do customs after, and that broke too. So
it's fun. Good time.
All right,
Yes.
hold on, boys. It's broken. No one can hear you.
Oh wait, am I in Halo again?
You've streamed before, right, Arash? Like you've done this
never.
before, I think.
This is literally
Pretty
the worst streamer EOS, dude.
Hold on. Let me just copy and paste. I think I know what the problem was. Okay. Try talking now and see if they can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Chat. Can you hear them, chat?
Hello.
All right. Yeah, I do suck at podcasting. This is true. We can hear them. All right, I fixed
Okay,
it.
cool.
All right. My bad, everyone. Okay, so we'll just. Oh, they still can't hear you. What the fuck?
Oh wait, no.
Maybe
no,
your
they can.
virtual audio cables
That
down.
they
or
can.
something.
Oh, they can. Okay. All right.
we're coming through.
Chat's just fucking with me now. I don't even know if they can hear you or not. Oh my god.
They can. I can hear me through the stream.
All
You're
right,
good.
Perfect. Okay.
That
Yeah,
is
we're-
downright
We're
devious.
gonna cruise on. I can explain later what I fucked up, but all right. So we did a little intro. You guys didn't hear any of them, which is unfortunate, but you know we're continuing on. So first thing we're gonna kind of do is I'm gonna close chat, dude. They're trolling me. Now they say they can't hear anything. Hold on. All right,
They're fucking with.
they're fucking with me now.
Yeah,
They're fucking with me. Okay.
I can hear it.
All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of catch up to where we are now. So the last stream kind of ended off. I don't know. When was the last podcast? Was that about a month or so ago? It was before
About
the
a month.
mid-season update, before we had the news of the mid-season update, and it was before the ranked reset. So we're going to kind of start there.
Last time on the Sadcast.
Yeah. We're going to start there a little bit and quickly talk about those. Obviously, it's kind of old news now. But I'll let whoever wants to lead the charge there, if you have any opinions on the ranked reset or the mid-season update.
Can I just say the rank reset did pretty much absolutely nothing? I'm just like, guys, you get to hit Onyx again. Just for fun, we're going to bring everyone down to Diamond 5. So you can pretend like you hit Onyx like it never happened. And then now we're back to
Here's
square one.
Here's my conspiracy theory. This was when Season 2 was supposed to launch, and they just didn't know how to
100%.
fucking turn it off.
That's
Like they literally, someone like, I don't know, the UI is like hard-coded with some shit, and they didn't know how to fix it.
The UI, it's
So they just acted. They just acted like it was some purposeful rank reset that did anything, but it did nothing.
Accidentally rasterized the layer that like
Yeah.
times in or something.
Yeah, now it's hard-baked. Like the season resets was hard-baked when they delayed
yeah.
Season 2.
About the reset, they said it was gonna like supposedly adjust the bell curve of rank distribution, but then if you're Onyx before reset, you place out 5 and you just get it anyways.
Yeah, also
So
like
if you look
the
at the bell
fucking
curve, it's
couple
still the
players
same.
that were still left. Like, you know what I mean? There's probably less population in lower ranks now than before.
I think it's
Nobody
safe
went
to
back
say.
and-
Yeah, that too.
I think it's safe to say this was just a desperate plan to get everyone to play ranked again. He
Perhaps.
wanted all the Onyx players to grind
I
again.
mean,
Dude, I mean,
they
it worked
mentioned
for about a night
previously
for me.
that. I mean, they mentioned previously that like apparently the wasn't performing exactly as they planned because I think they said like they wanted the median like rank to be like gold 6 plat 1 kind of thing or something like that, and then everyone was kind of trending around like plat 3 was like the median or something like that. So I think that's what they were kind of trying to do. But like, I mean, from my experience when I played and got my ranked matches, I ranked into Diamond 1, like again, just like I did previously. So now I don't really notice a whole lot changing, honestly. But I have been kind of noticing a lot more like imbalanced matches happening, where like seeing like golds being mixed in with onyxes and stuff like that, which is kind of sketchy.
Because the game is dead. So like,
Yeah, kind of,
spots, I guess.
definitely remind me of like the Halo 5 days of trying to play ranked, where people would tweet at Josh Menke like, "Why is this guy in my lobby?" It's like, because there's like 3 people playing, dude. Shut up.
No, that's really true. I mean, we're already kind of experiencing that. Like, obviously, in MCC, you would get ridiculously one-sided matches in ranked, but MCC was like a different problem where just everyone had like 30 different accounts, because after you hit like rank 30, you just couldn't find matches. So people would just hit 30 or so, get sick a few times, and just make a new account. So like it does seem most people in Infinite, like for the most part, stick on their alt or on their main, I mean. But yeah, then now you just have like lobbies where you'll be like Onyx or low Onyx, and you'll match people that are in Plat or Diamond, and I don't know. It's not great. And I'm someone who loves like grinding ranked, and I before the reset, I played a ton of ranked. I mean, like,
oh yeah, that's like all you did.
Yeah, and since the reset, I got my rank in both playlists. I think I've launched it back up once. Like, I'm just over it. Like, I was really hoping they were gonna fix the way the system worked, and since it's literally the same, and now I just have to re-get Onyx. It's just there's no motivation, because I'm still playing the same maps, the same game modes, the same desync still exists, the same issues all still persist, but it's just like, here you go, do it again. And it's not even a new season. It's like they just reset it for nothing.
Didn't they do the mid-season patch where they patched, they did the day 1 patch 3 months late, and did that fix everything?
Yeah. So we can talk about the mid-season patch too. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't remember what was in it. And that's not...
I don't think it did anything.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Nothing changed, right?
No, so it was literally like patch. Like, you'd open up Valorant and there'd be like a 1 gig patch, and it would just be like some random shit. That would be... That's what they rolled out as the mid-season update. And I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, like, people overhype this. This wasn't the mid-season update. It just like happened to come in the middle of the season. But that's not true. 343 on multiple occasions, like, they pitched it as the mid-season update. I don't know why they hyped up an update that was literally just bug fixes and some optimization.
This is the content drops we're gonna be getting for another like year. There's like big updates.
Yeah, it'll help fix campaign unlocks, content drops.
I mean, they probably planned for that update to be bigger than it was, but for whatever reason, just couldn't get the rest of the stuff.
I mean, they also probably planned Season 2 to drop when the ranks reset as well. But
there's definitely something weird. Like, there's obviously like some big pipeline issues going on, because in that initial, like, I don't know what they did, talk that they did all the way back when they announced that co-op was gonna get like pushed back from launch, they explicitly said seasons are typically 3 months long, and it wasn't until the launch of the game where we saw it was going to be like a 6-month season, and even that's still not enough time to get like co-op ready. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, like, I'm not convinced that it even comes with season 2. It could get pushed back to season 3. Who knows if Forge will actually come with season 3? I mean, that's all up in the air.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the thing that really worries me, because so now co-op has been delayed into currently the words from 343 is it's delayed. It won't be there at the launch of season 2, but it is supposed to be during season 2. Forge
season 3 confirmed.
So Forge is still slated for season 3. But if co-op ends up getting pushed back like you're talking, or maybe it even still comes out, it just takes longer than anticipated, what's to say, Forge doesn't now come out in season 4 or 5 even? Like, we're talking next year at this point.
Sorry.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, it's bullshit. Co-op is not a fucking content drop. Like, it's not it's not the big update they should hype a season with.
Yeah,
that's... co-op should have been there at launch, now it's irrelevant.
That's
like, I don't even care if it gets added to the fucking game. It literally does nothing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like too little, too late.
Yeah, it should have been there at launch. And something else that should have been there at launch, and I'm surprised they didn't even mention this for season 2. Is the Exp Progression System?
They did. They're still working on it.
Well, they said that they mentioned that, but they didn't say it was coming with season 2.
They're starting to think about it.
But that's the thing. Like, that's something like that needs to be there at launch, because it's like all this time we're playing right now, none of that goes towards that progression. So you could have like 2,000 hours in the game, and you're a rank recruit when the progression system comes.
So we should put the caveat that other games have done this, and they did kind of like back give you experience. Now I don't know if 343 has systems in place to be able to do that, but I know both Apex and Valorant, when they rolled because neither of those games launched with like overarching experience systems. It was all battle passes, and when they launched those, they did give you experience based. I don't know how it determined. Might have just been like matches played or something like that, but it did give you a certain amount of experience. For
I would have to think there's
I guess
granted,
because they can keep track of like how many games you played,
Yeah, exactly. They can definitely see how many games you played.
Give you a rough estimate of XP back.
So
do you think we're gonna get an XP like progression system like this year? Then you think?
I'm thinking
they said it was their priority. Like in the blog where they like before the game dropped, they mentioned that is their priority, not one of their priorities. Their priority
is priority 0 though.
I know, but also the roadmap was a priority back in December too, and we're still waiting on that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the roadmap. I thought that thing just was a myth.
They obviously just don't want to give us like, they don't want to say for sure this is what's coming with the roadmap and give us like.
Wait, did we get the roadmap?
But like,
no,
we didn't.
No roadmap. We got a delayed.
I just wish they would tell us at least like what they're thinking. Like give me an idea like what we're trying to do.
I don't think they know.
You don't have to set it in stone. Like,
I don't know if they know if they can realistically do anything right now. Like, if you have to delay the planning phase of plans, you clearly don't know. Like, maybe there's something going on in the company, some major, like, just, I don't know, structure change. I mean, the multiplayer lead
there's
quit.
Been shit going on for 10 years at that company.
Multiplayer lead quit, and it just, things don't seem good. I'm being real. If you have to delay the plans, that obviously is a bad sign. But when you got people quitting throughout the entire life cycle of the game and post-launch, and the game still hasn't had a suitable season, like day one patch, like I'm talking, the patch talked about connection issues, melee issues, and I'm still running into the same bugs. They claimed they fixed customs, and day one, when I went in after that patch, first custom game I launched, AR starts. Didn't matter what I set, it was back to Team Slayer.
Yeah, wait.
And I'm going
did the same thing with Big Team Battle, right? They said it's fixed and then it wasn't fixed.
Oh yeah.
Like they're literally just lying at this point, like multiple times. So I don't know.
I think a new bug was introduced for customs, right? Where you can't see people in your lobby now.
Oh, it's terrible! Oh my god!
Wait, is that true?
Yeah. So me and Sempra were still like trying to like compete when that bug rolled out. So basically, what happens now is, unless people are your friend, when they join your lobby, you cannot see them. And if you open up the fire team, you can just see 3 dots. So like people will join your game. You don't know what team they're on. You don't even know they're there unless they type in chat or you happen to open the firefight screen.
But then you can't even see who in the chat is like the message is from. It's just blank.
Yeah, it's terrible. And then you have to launch the game to see who they are or what team they're on. So like it's such a waste of time because it wasn't. We got pretty lucky when we did the doubles tournament that most of the time the other team just happened to pick the right team.
Yeah, just imagine in a 4v4 lobby with the bugs already existing where people randomly are on the wrong teams or observer mode, and then now you can't even see the lobby if that's happening.
Yeah, it's just a mess. I don't even know how a bug like that. I mean, I understand how bugs happen, but yeah, like that was 2 weeks ago now. I haven't even seen them acknowledge it. That's a big bug.
But it's not just the bugs that make the game unfun to play.
Big bugs.
There's some big bugs, but I'm saying like when you try to form a community as a content creator around a game that's so broken and is shedding player bases, it's kind of disheartening. But the worst thing is when you're just trying to launch a custom game or you're just trying to launch a big team game. I opened the customization menu earlier today and it froze. I had to relaunch, get the whole party started back in. It wouldn't open the customization menu, which worked in Halo CE every time. And so it just makes it really hard. I was shedding viewers because I had to relaunch the game, and I can't blame people for walking away from this game. It's stressful. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts?
It's just, I mean, especially we're really feeling it since we haven't had like an event until like today for the last 2 or 3 weeks, right, or something like that. Like it was supposed to be, no, it was like so it's been about 2 or 3 weeks, right? Yeah, since the last 10 right event, which I don't even know even really counts anymore.
Dude, no, it
Because,
doesn't.
yeah.
I'm sorry. That hasn't counted
like-
since the first time. Like, it's just, they
I
just
thought-
bring Fiesta back, which is a
Yeah.
permanent playlist. They don't even change anything. I saw, before it came back one of the times, I saw Footed Ghost put out a video because he saw a leaker say we were going to get Fiesta Oddball. And I was like, okay, that's not much, but at least it's something. And then it rolled out and it was just fucking Fiesta again.
Brilliant.
Like,
I got an idea.
dude, who greenlit 6 weeks of Fiesta?
And
Yes,
now
how-
with this event, they're like dragging out the content, right? Like there's
Yeah.
like it's 2 weeks long,
Mhm.
and we're not getting
Yeah.
the next 2 game modes, which are just basic stuff, till like the second week, right?
Yep.
And with how starved this game is for content, why would they take away attrition? Like the new unique game mode. Like why would they take that away? Like
So they
I
can
know
bring
it's
it
part
back
of
2
the
more
Cyber
times.
Showdown, but still.
No,
Like, that should
what's
be there.
dumb is that's the one event that actually had a new game mode, and it's also the event that got like the least amount of playtime because we've brought Fiesta back 6 fucking times, but we can't bring attrition back, which was the one unique game mode. I can play Fiesta every day. I don't want to, but I can. I enjoyed playing attrition. I thought it was a fun game mode. It needed some balance changes, sure, but it was something cool and unique and new, and they just yeet that out so that I can play Mangler SWAT.
Which
I'm
I'm literally
yeah,
doing right now,
for the
actually.
fifth time.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I did not launch the game with attrition. I don't care. That's not enough for me to fucking want to play this game.
Yeah,
Like,
attrition
I don't
was
know.
like alright. Like
I
it was
thought it was
fun,
cool.
but like, I definitely don't see myself like sticking with the mode or anything like that.
Yeah, I did not play a single game of attrition. I do not care. That's not enough. Like for me to put my time into Infinite. I don't know.
Last time I played, I don't even remember. It was like when I was testing the matchmaking, like MMR and like the secret MMR, where I went on my wife's account, who isn't like new to first person shooters, and I played my 10 ranked matches, just destroyed. It did so good, like flawless 10 matches, and I got ranked like silver, and I was just like, okay. And the MMR is obviously like there's a secret MMR matching me with like, you know what I mean, lower tier players, and you can't even get out of that in your 10 placement matches. It's just
The fact that
broken.
MMR carries
it's
over across playlists, that's terrible.
So
Like,
bizarre.
It's
Yeah.
all hidden
Like-
MMR, man, and it's so bad because, yeah, I mean, in your case that also sucks, but it sucks across the board. Just it was like part of the rank reset. They didn't reset anything. All they did was delete the Onyx symbol. And it didn't fucking matter because when other games reset, it brings your MMR, like, it kind of like levels it out a bit. So you do get some fucked lobbies for like the first couple weeks of a new rank of a new season. But it's like, it's kind of like a little bit fun at the same time because you have like these people that are like coming from different ranks a little bit. But in this game, they did the rank reset. They got rid of my Onyx number and I played the same fucking people in the same lobbies. Like if I looked up the people I was playing during my placements, they were all 15 to 1800 last season. What am I doing here? Why did you reset it for that? Like it literally was meaningless because it's completely matching off of a hidden MMR, and it clearly didn't reset that at all.
Yeah, the way it should
Yeah, no,
work,
it
it's
does
like
seem
in your
like it.
placement matches, right? You get paired up against a variety of players, and then if you lose certain games, like if you play against a plat player and you lose, right? Or like obviously not as good as plat
Hey,
players.
don't make fun of me, man.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, what I mean? That's how it should work, and then it should like average out. But it just matches you with like, I don't know, silver the whole way through, and then puts you silver. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Yeah,
Especially since like it still feels like the way like you rank up in D rank, it's like the exact same. It feels like nothing really changed with that, which that's like a big complaint within the community. Is like when you lose, you really lose, and when you win, you're like, oh, here's a little like well, a crumb of a
Yeah.
CSR point. you
Can we
know?
talk about how like also not showing the fucking number or like how much you gain, and it's just like this weird bar is also really
Yeah.
fucking wacky. Like you can't even gauge like how this game impacted you really. It's just like this bar that might have moved up, and then if you like
And
don't
sorry.
quit, it'll just be like the same bar. Like the bar will just fill
Yeah.
up, right? There's no like line in between to tell you, oh, it's from this game. It's just so fucking dumb of a design. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a very weird design decision because they could easily assign arbitrary numbers to it. Like Halo Tracker already does. It already gives you a CSR number for every non-Onyx rank, and I don't understand why 343 themselves didn't do that. So it'd be like, you're Diamond 3, but you're 1525, and you gained 5 points this game. Like, exactly what you're saying, but instead it's just the fucking bar. I think the bar is even more tilting, though, because sometimes you lose a game and just half the bar is fucking gone.
Yeah.
You're spending like 3 hours building that bar up. Too. All
Yeah,
wrong.
no,
And
that's
then you lose
rough.
one game because you went like 15-15. You had a guy that went like 2-20, and then like
No,
that's
it's
why you
the-
lost.
It gets
Well,
even
my
worse.
teammate got disconnected. I was playing with Luke, and I'd worked like I was almost Diamond 1. I was like right there. Luke gets disconnected from the match. We lose the match, and it like deranked me like half an entire rank all the way down. And I was just like, all right, well.
Yeah,
And
that's
then you got to
It
win
was-
15 matches just to get back up there.
Now I can say it was my fault. I was playing the PC version, so
Oh,
it
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
crashed.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
work. So
Right.
that was the issue.
Yeah,
Shit fucking-
dude, I don't know, man. Well, first of all, I don't understand why rank doesn't have rejoin, but fucking like, I understand it's not totally the same system because in social, like you quit and like someone else rejoins, but clearly something is there. I don't know. It feels so weird to play a ranked game in 2022 that doesn't have like rejoin or join in progress if you like lag out.
There's
or something.
basic features missing
Or
from
like
this game.
in
I don't know.
in most other ranked games I play too, if someone crashes out before the game starts, you can instantly just remake the lobby. Like you can just void it.
Okay.
And this game doesn't have that. So if someone just crashes
Yeah.
pre-lobby, you just play a 3v4, which is very weird.
Yeah.
But okay, so I
Yeah,
think
or maybe it's because they look at it because like since matches like most of the time like are like 10 to or like 7 to 12 minutes usually, that like there's usually by the time someone probably boots back up, like the match is basically over, or like games like
Is it?
Valorant or
Dude,
like
but,
say like
like,
League of Legends are much longer game modes.
I get
They
your
made
point.
the game though for like a console that has an SSD, right? And most PC gamers have an SSD, so you can expect most people to be able to boot the game within like a minute again, right? So like I don't know.
and I would say too, I get your point, Kevin. Like if you gave me that reason for why you can't surrender a losing game, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Like if you're getting dumped on in this game, it is done in 5 minutes. But if you're playing like, say you're playing Bizarre CTF, that shit goes to time every time. And if you have someone crash out, you could easily like hold, like they might cap a flag or something, but you could easily stop that game from ending and your teammate could rejoin, because those games last like 20-25 minutes. Like they aren't super quick because no one ever caps 5 flags. Or even oddball with like the 2-round system, if you're up a round and one of your teammates crashes, you have like a solid 2 to 5 more minutes. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of game time left in that game.
Those oddball games can go like 23 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if people aren't picking the ball up all the time. Like if you're able to keep them off the ball because the timer doesn't keep moving, though they can extend for a really long time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of. I think we did a good touch there of kind of the ranked update. We talked a little bit about season 2, but I kind of want to focus on that a little bit. So I'm sure everyone in chat knows what we're getting in season 2. But the drop content, we got the big post last Friday, and so what we're going to be getting is this is how I read the blog post. Now, I've been reading some people on Twitter have read it differently, and I think they're wrong, but we can discuss it. So I read it as we are getting 2 maps, 1 arena map, 1 BTB map. We're getting 3 game modes, 2 new game modes. Last Spartan Standing. What was the other new one? Did they say?
Land grab.
Land grab,
or
and then
BTB.
Yep, land grab, and then we're getting the return of King of the Hill. So 3 in theory game modes, 1 returning, and 2 maps. That's how I read season 2. Now I read some people thinking that those aren't the only maps, and those were just the ones that they tried to highlight, but I don't think I
Yeah, it
agree with
sounds like a
that.
cope.
Yeah.
No, I
That
put
sounds like a
money
big
on there
cope.
only being 2
That-
maps.
I
That's
mean,
what I
those are the
think.
same people that said they're gonna add a bunch of content day one when the game releases on December 8th. Like,
Yeah,
those people
also,
that thought
I-
that the beta, that they thought the game released in a beta, like, no, we just got to play it earlier.
I do have to say, they put more maps out than I thought they would.
Same. I will say that.
I thought we're getting 0 to 1
I
map.
wasn't even convinced we got a single new map.
No.
So,
Yeah, so I mean,
I guess
you
it
know,
did exceed. I
good
wasn't
on them.
sure.
They could still delay it.
True.
So they
And
did.
here's the thing
Oh, sorry.
with the beta though, like they said it was a beta, right? When they released it in November, so we're still in the beta, right?
Yeah, it never reached full release. This is season 2 of beta.
Yeah.
so in the post too, it did talk a little bit about playlist updates, but they didn't expand upon that at all. So I don't really think there's much to talk about there.
I'd say the March update with blog that we get didn't detail everything that's becoming with season 2. I think it was more just kind of like, hey, this is on the horizon. This is some of the things that we're doing. I think also on if I remember on Twitter, I think it might be Unishek or somebody else also kind of clarified like some other things. Like I think they might have mentioned like sandbox tweaks and stuff like that coming along with this update, because obviously we've got conversations when it comes to like the plasma pistol that they know that I think they mentioned it back in the flights that the plasma pistol like tracking ability needed to be improved on players, and like how the Ravager was not as worthless and just a bunch of other stuff like that. So I think it's going to happen with season 2. We're going to like at least some form of a sandbox update as well.
Yeah, and I think that's probably likely, but obviously like the main piece of content we talked about there, and then co-op obviously being delayed, which we touched on a little bit earlier. I know you guys gave some of your opinions, but how do you guys feel about the co-op delay? Personally, I mean, I think it's kind of like I don't know how to say it nicely, but it's kind of like sad at this point that co-op's still getting delayed, but at the same time, I don't actually think it really makes that huge of a difference at this point in the game's life cycle. Like,
Yeah, like that is something that really needs to be at launch for it to like have its momentum. Like putting out co-op this late in the games after the game's release is kind of awkward, you know?
yeah,
It's
because
kind of funny to me. At this point, it's just a comedy. Like it's just the cherry on top of the shit sundae. Like it's just it had like King of the Hill returns. It was in 2001. Co-op 2001. Like it's just unbelievable, and it just makes me laugh at this point. When I saw co-op got delayed, I was like, same shit. I wasn't even surprised. In fact, I had a good laugh at it.
Yeah, and co-op campaign. I mean, that's not something that is gonna cause a bunch of people to flood back to the game, sure, but I mean, it is it is a big part of the game, so they definitely should get it in as soon as possible for sure.
yeah,
It's like one
I
of those
agree.
foundational kind of features when it comes to Halo. Like
Yeah.
playing co-op was just like always a thing with Halo.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think it's going to be it's something to revive the game. I mean, that's
Nah,
more
it's
of
too
something
little, too
like
late.
Forge or something. But
Yeah.
No, I don't think like
but
player
at
base
least they
wise-
confirmed they were doing 4-player. I was thinking they might have done 2-player co-op, but
Wait,
I'm
also,
just kinda- I'm
they're
just kind of curious
staggering
what
the
happened.
release.
Sorry, go ahead.
They're taking the release, right? We're getting split screen separately from 4-player.
Yeah, that's so confusing.
So I'm gonna say this: mid season 2, we'll get split screen co-op, right? And then they're delaying 4-player co-op to season 3. That's my best
The other way
guess.
around.
Why?
The other way around.
I think it'll be the other way around because I think like having a consistent frame rate is what like their big priority is, and I think that's gonna be harder to do on a local split screen level. And I think that would get split. That's why they're using terms like network.
Yeah.
Like what was it called? Like network co-op will be coming mid-season, and I bet you split screen gets pushed back later.
I would agree.
But I
with
mean,
you
I
there.
know what's
something-
going on because I don't know if you guys remember, like way back. I think it was like winter of 2018. I want to say. I remember when Chris Lee was on the team and they were doing like a end of the year live stream, and they were talking about like how they got 4 players split screen co-op to work in Halo Infinite, and I was like, oh hell yeah, that's awesome. Why doesn't it work now? You know.
They don't know what to do.
Someone
Like,
stepped on the
was
hard
there
drive.
something that happened in development that drastically changed like how the game is played from like 2018 to now? Like, I can understand like major changes happening
and then
and different features
they,
getting removed, but like, damn.
they probably had a line of code and like some contractor put the code in, left, and then a new contractor came in and deleted it, and then they don't know what to do.
Oh, ouch.
So it's
I'm
like,
thinking
oh,
it was like
Does anyone have Jim's number? We need to call Jim.
I'm thinking it was like Halo.
He works at
They're gonna
Bungie
pay him
now.
health benefits.
and then you know the weird thing to me really though is like with the season 2 announcement, like if you just look at like the rundown list, it's like 3 game modes, 2 maps, co-op eventually, and work on season 3. Like they like literally one of the perks of like what's coming in season 2
Is that we're gonna work
they're
on
gonna be
season 3?
working on season 3. Like I'm like, okay, this is a very very short or like very insignificant season for something that has such a long wait
Maybe
for it.
he meant
I
that
think-
we will get to work on season 3.
Oh shit, let's go.
Oh,
We
No,
already
I-
brought that now, boys.
I think part of the
Oh,
problem with the reception of this season, so don't get me wrong, I think this is an underwhelming season. If this season came now, though, I think we would be a lot more okay with it. I think it's the fact we had to wait 6 months for what effectively, like clearly, they
There's
didn't
nothing.
they didn't use the extra time to beef up season 2. It as you can see from season 2 was clearly delayed because they're so far behind, like trying to get the game out, period, that this is what should have been your standard 3-month period or 3-month season where you get a couple maps and a few game modes and a new battle pass, right? But that doesn't that works ish for 3 months, and we can talk if we even think that's enough on a regular 3-month cycle, but it definitely isn't going to do anything when it's a 6-month cycle, right?
Yeah, I think it's also just kind of, like I said, kind of lends itself to them, like just getting the game out the door was such
Yeah.
a struggle that like they probably didn't even have time to start working on season 2. And then like right when the game, they waited till the very end to release this game, like December 8th. That's pretty late. Like usually games like latest you'll see them as like released like maybe the week of like Black Friday, but like
Yeah.
past that, like in December 8th,
No,
that's like about as late as you could possibly release it because you need to take time to like release it and then give it like 2 weeks to make sure it didn't break anything, get community feedback, and then they go
Yeah.
on break.
Yeah, well, December usually is like a dead man's land for AAA games. It's usually nothing but indie games. So having a major title like this, yeah, like you're saying, drop actually in December, which we saw what happened. That's a terrible release window because yeah, people take time off for Christmas the holidays, and nobody blames them for that. Like I wasn't fucking working around.
Well, they
the
definitely
last-
deserved it.
Yeah. But like the problem with that is now you launch the game out the door and you just have like 2 to 3 weeks of dead time. Nothing's being worked on, nothing is being like fixed, and then you come back and you're already way behind the ball. Not only do you still probably need to finish season 2 at that point, just from what it seems like, you're also having to fix BTB, it's broken. Progression's totally broken. The challenge system's broken. The shop is broken. Desync is bad. The ranks is like, they came back to just this laundry list of broken things, and it's like they're constantly behind the ball at this point, and I just don't know. Like I guess my question to you guys is, do we have confidence season 3 actually comes in August?
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No,
Wait, did
zero
they-
No,
confidence.
season
say a
3 is going to
date?
Yeah,
happen.
when did they say? I thought it was like expected like November, like 1 year.
No, it's a
They-
3-month period.
No, they're not going back on the 6 months, right? 6 month
I
season.
thought it was gonna be 6 months for the next like 2 years,
Wait,
probably.
yeah.
Shut up,
Wait.
Elijah. No,
I
it's
think
That was
not.
the
I think-
impression I was under.
No, wait, no. That's literally the impression I was under too. Yeah, November is for season 3, right?
Not even joking.
Well,
Like
season
straight
3 would be
up.
like in like
It'd be in
August or
August.
September.
Yeah, it'd be in August.
Yeah.
Who
I
said
think
that? Where
it'll-
said that?
Well, it's 3
Well,
months.
Yeah, but they're not
They
doing
said
3
it.
months. I thought. They
They're
already
not doing
said
Just,
three
that.
months.
just for season 2 because it
Yeah,
got delayed.
Oh, no. They
Yeah,
never
just
said
season
that.
Yeah.
2 is 6 months. Everything else is 3.
Have they? Okay.
In
question,
that
have they
blog post,
recently-
it said 3 months. It said 3 months.
Okay, so they recently like iterated 3 months.
They recently reiterated. So
Okay.
okay.
No,
before-
I think season 3 does come in August. If anything, they'll just delay Forge.
yeah, that was gonna be my next
Oh,
question.
yeah,
So-
then okay. That 100% means they're probably gonna delay Forge. If it's they're making a 3-month season.
So, but-
I was like, when I said they're gonna delay Forge, I thought they were gonna have a 6-month season again, and then still not be able to delay Forge to put out Forge right in November. So they're definitely gonna delay Forge.
So here,
Yeah, well, I mean, we did see a tweet from one of the guys on Forge Council. He did say that it's been coming along pretty well, and they do expect to see like a Forge flight happen.
I was gonna bring that tweet up because that tweet actually makes me very skeptical that we get Forge this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Those tweets
the way he worded that tweet. Granted, he's not like a PR dude, so maybe he didn't think into it.
Yeah.
But the way he worded that tweet was that they hope to flight Forge this year. That gives me no confidence it's coming out this year.
Yo, I'm out of hopium.
Oh yeah.
If you're hoping to flight it in 2022, then you're not hoping to release it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But
I think like they need to do like, besides like fix the game itself at this point and like start and getting content under development, they need to do like a complete overhaul on how they're handling like their community relations and PR, because like if they would just like be like, hey, we're gonna delay season 3 and it's gonna come out, say like even if they said it's gonna come out in like November or December or January, right? But they're like, we're gonna do this like overhaul, like a Rainbow Six equivalent of like Operation Health, right? And they're like, we're gonna take this time, we're gonna like really fine tune, get stuff, but also get caught up on the development stuff, and then we're gonna have meaningful content drops from here on out moving forward. Like, people will chill out, and they're not gonna feel like this is the precedent they're setting now, this is how it's gonna be forever. But like the fact that there's just like radio silence and then minimum information and minimum amounts of content coming, like it's no one's gonna get excited or happy about anything.
I think
You know?
they're disorganized so much that they can't even promise like, an Operation Health. They couldn't even fucking put together a timeline on like bug fixes, I think. So I don't know.
And the
I don't
bug
even know if
fixes
Forge
that
is enough
came,
to bring interest back. Like at this point, like
No, it wouldn't be.
it's
I
far
feel
too
like they
late.
need to pair, like they need to have a big season with more than just like a Forge drop and a custom game fix. Like they need like stuff to really give people a reason to come back. I think like just
Like
drip
VR on
feeding
top or
content
some
that was expected to be at launch shouldn't count as like big new things. Like this is stuff that we thought we were going to be able to do day one. And I think that the ship sailed. Now it's time to like catch up and make up for what they couldn't get done.
I think the only hope this game has is to like do something really big. They need like a battle royale or something. It's just
Like-
too
I was
late.
waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
They are just going to be from here on out. They are just pretty much playing catch up. Like I don't see how they can get ahead unless they just like outsource a bunch of shit to other studios.
Maybe with
Like
Halo
what's
7
happened
they
with Certain
can
Affinity. They're
get
working
ahead
on
of
a
it in
mode.
10 years.
Splash Damage would be a great company to work with. They're the ones that did all of the MCC seasons and all of that content.
Here's the thing though. Like you're right. Like you bring in other studios. I mean, Certain Affinity's working on a game mode supposedly, and I've heard rumors of like what it's supposed to be.
It's
but
Assault.
who fucking knows what it is?
It's
And
Assault.
I mean, I've heard different things, but like
So
Do
what?
we even know it's
Huh?
real for Hunt? It's real? Like,
yeah,
sure?
I mean, a bunch of like news companies, like mainstream
I mean, that
websites
doesn't
ran
mean
it.
anything.
Yeah, but I mean, I believe there's like, I believe there's something in development. That doesn't mean it ever comes out. Think how many games get canceled, you know?
What if it's
It was,
just
oh yeah,
Halo?
no fucking news site. I don't know. Me and Elijah were talking about this. I don't know. It was like some Kotaku article or some shit. They posted like that someone made Elden Ring and like Kanye West and Elden Ring, right? It wasn't
Yes.
even the fucking right game, but they all ran this news story. Like, and literally the tweet they based this off, right? Said in the fucking thread, oh, I guess this is not Elden Ring. This is fucking Demon Souls. So these journalists couldn't even fucking read the comment on the tweet. Like they couldn't even read the thread, and then they ran all this fucking story, dude. I don't know.
Oh, really? That wasn't an Elden Ring. I thought it was an Elden Ring too, because
No,
it
this
was,
was
it
Demon's
was a
Souls.
post on Reddit originally, and they said
Yeah,
like
but like it was
like
like
r/slash
all,
gaming.
it wasn't. Yeah, but like I don't know. If you're a news journalist, I feel like you shouldn't run a story where you don't even fucking know what game you're talking about.
I mean, it's
We're
like a
talking about
stupid
journalism
little meme
here.
thing. I wouldn't go too upset, but yeah, they do get some stuff wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like an example of like all these fucking
I
gaming.
mean,
news
or
journalists
like
talking
the was it that one tweet or that one like Kotaku article, or yeah, I think it was Kotaku was talking about like how Halo Infinite allows you to fulfill like your transphobic like dreams or something like
yeah,
that.
but let's go talk. They're just weird as fuck. Like
Was
I
that
don't know.
just, like, the
Nothing to
kid?
expect from.
Glitch in Oddball.
Yeah, I was like oddball. You get
Holy
the
shit,
punch
the
ball
fucking
in
Harry
there or
Potter thing.
something.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
And since
and they were
like
like-
and since like Harry Potter, and since like J.K. Rowling like came out like, but not like pro trans whatever people or whatever, then like that made Halo Infinite transphobic.
Yeah, that was
it was a
weird
hell of a
fucking
reach for a
tweet.
title, man.
Yeah.
But hell, he got clicks.
That's yeah. I mean, we don't. I don't want to get into the whole rabbit hole of like
Yeah, that's a
gaming
whole nother
journalism.
subject.
But
That's a whole podcast by itself.
yeah,
Sorry,
there
yeah.
there are good websites that run good articles, and then there's
Right.
like there's clearly websites that just shit out things with clickbaity titles. So it is what it is. I mean, that's a different.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've recently learned there's AI like generated news websites, and they just like pop up on the top of Google, but then like it's like
Yeah.
all around by AI and stuff. It's kind of weird.
Wow, that's
All
actually
right.
pretty interesting.
All right, so rather than going down that rabbit hole, with the stuff that we know is coming in season 2, what like give me your guys' predictions. What do you think we see like player base wise, reception wise? Obviously, like we don't know the quality of the maps or anything like that, but just based on kind of what you guys have been reading or what you've been thinking, how do you think season 2 like not just does in player base because that's kind of its own deal, but like do you think it like pleases the community at all, or how do you just any thoughts you have on kind of season 2?
I think it will keep us happy for like the first week and a half, and then it's back to same old. To be honest,
I mean, I know you don't want me to predict play numbers, but I think we're not going to see it in the triple digits again.
No, you can
And then
predict
it'll
them. I
drop
just
off.
meant that wasn't
Okay.
the only thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I think like between 60 and
I
80k
wanna be
players.
popular.
When it drops on well, okay, this is just Steam. Obviously, this isn't like the whole player base, but I mean, you can kind of indicate like the development of the player base, right? Even if there's more players on Xbox, I think the drop-offs are probably in percentage the same.
Yeah.
So I think on Steam we're gonna see like between 60 and 80k, and then a steep drop-off after 1 week. Because I mean,
I
there's
don't even
really
see that much.
no content.
How much?
Yeah.
How much are right now on Steam?
Fucking
like
at 10K.
15K?
No, we don't hit
No,
15.
the event brought back 5,000 people.
Oh, let's go. All right, that'll be gone within 2 days. So back to 10K.
Yeah, obviously.
I was thinking like a rise in 10 to 15k people. See it like, and then it dropping off back to where it was, and then dipping even lower afterwards.
I will say,
That's
like
probably
right now, I'm looking
accurate.
at the most played Xbox games, and I think this is probably the lowest I've seen Halo Infinite. It's like just above Minecraft, and it's behind
Oh,
like
it's bad. Even on there.
behind
yeah.
Roblox,
number 11?
NBA 2K, Rainbow Six Siege,
Roblox
and
is
Madden
good.
22.
Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege is a good game. NBA 2K, dude, probably better than Halo. I've never played those games,
Roblox.
but they're probably better than Roblox. Probably better than Halo. Yeah.
So I
They're
wanted
really
to
a bad
pull.
deal.
I wanted to pull this up real quick because it's kind of like the only parallel we have. Like you can kind of see with MCC on PC, like obviously the Halo 3 season brought back the most players, but I mean you were going from like 5K all the way up to like 45K. So I think there's a belief if we're still sitting in the 10K range that you hit like 50 to 60 with season 2. I mean, in theory, I would think more people are going to be willing to hop back onto Infinite than to. Well, maybe that's not true because this was to launch Halo 3 up. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a difference between
There's
two
a
maps
difference.
in a whole game.
MCC had a paywall
MCT
where
did
Infinite
have
is
a
free to
paywall.
play.
Yeah.
And I think also with that Halo 3 dropped, wasn't there like a big improvement to the game where
Oh yeah, that was when they
like
fixed
frame rate
reach and- yeah,
improvement
yeah.
was huge too and stuff. There's some other
Forge
things mixed
2.0.
in with that. It wasn't just like Halo 3.
You're right. The 3 season was like the big fix. It was like when they kind of felt like they finally kind of had their feet under them for MCC.
Oh yeah, because they kind of were like, oh shit, we can't release like another Halo 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Remember when they did the Halo 2 release on PC? Luke and I we play a lot on Xbox, and we were doing a game night, and we were playing Halo 3 custom games, and they were completely broken because of the code that they had updated for Halo. So because they put Halo 2 PC out, it broke Halo 3 Xbox like MCC on Xbox. Like it
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
they
weirdest
were, like-
thing. Like there was some spaghetti code crossing over on plates or something. They were mixing Alfredo and marinara. I don't know. Like it was just
Hey, you
like,
remember
If you ever tried mixing Alfredo marinara, it's actually kind
That
of
sounds illegal.
well, it was weird. It was so, like we were playing a driving game, and essentially, like someone would get in their vehicle, and then they would control their vehicle, but their character was not in a vehicle, and they were standing away, and like in first person mode, and they would be seeing their warthog driving around based on where their controller is and not moving. It was like you had some like RC car. It was the weirdest thing.
And that was the same time where you could shoot the ground in Halo 2 and get kills.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
I
shoot
had-
shotgun
I had
on the ground and
I
like
had
you
so
shoot
much
rockets
fun
on the
with that.
ground. I think wasn't it like if someone was jumping in the air and you shot at the ground, then it would connect on them or something
I think
like
that's
just so random like that. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And like and it took them like a good like what 2 weeks or so to get that fixed.
yeah. Um,
Okay. Well, does anyone have any
Wait,
kind
when
of final
Wait, have they
thoughts?
When it
said
com-
they're gonna do weapon bouncing for season 2? Like anything at all?
I'll look at
think
the
they
release
mentioned
of
it.
it.
When are we gonna see a new weapon? Like that's not coming till like 2023, right? Or are they ever
Probably
gonna
gonna
do
be
new
an old
weapons?
weapon. It's gonna be an
I mean,
old
that's
weapon.
fine. Anything. We're not gonna see an old weapon probably for another like, year, right?
I mean,
I
you
feel
Probably
like it's
not.
something that should be in the
Probably
season
s-
update too, like 2-3 new weapons or some shit, you know?
No, we're not
With,
getting that.
addition to the sandbox, maybe a new vehicle when
yeah.
Forge launches.
I don't know.
But, like,
I feel
don't
like
even
you
see that
could
happening.
you could maybe see that with a new map. Like I don't know
What
if they'd
in the-
necessarily need to like talk about that ahead of time. Like maybe as part of the new map, it has like a new weapon on it or something. Maybe I don't know.
I think they
So
definitely
Ross,
would.
what am I looking at on your stream right now?
This is
This is a
content.
mod.
This is
This
the
is
You haven't played the campaign?
what's up?
Just- heck?
This is the
This is
Banshee
just the
bomber. Yeah.
Is this an actual vehicle in the campaign?
No.
Yeah,
It's a mod.
It's a modded.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
an Easter egg. You
You
can
do all
get
the
it.
open world shit, and then you can call it
It's
in
like-
at the final.
Yeah,
You ever done that?
What is this?
Basically, you can fully upgrade the Banshee, and this is the
This
final form.
PC black magic.
It's actually really broken. It stopped working.
Is that like that super wing freaking Banshee that you downloaded you posted a while ago?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
The ideal Banshee. You may not like it, but this is peak performance.
It's what the Banshee
So-
wishes it was like. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
so
bef-
who
wait,
here wants
before
to
we move
learn how
on,
to
I wa-
develop a game? Because why don't we just make our own Halo?
Dude, we've seen
Yeah.
people try
Open
that.
source community
They
game.
tried and failed.
But
All right. So
not
does
us.
does anyone have any final thoughts on kind of season 2?
I
have
was
a
gonna
final-
say regarding like
underwhelming.
how many players come back to the game for season 2. I do think it matters a lot how much 343 like promotes the season.
Yeah.
Like if they just don't talk about it at all, I don't think it does much for the
We don't talk
population
about
at all.
seasons.
But if they're pushing out, trailers and stuff, and I think it
When
a couple thousand.
all right, let's theorycraft here. If you're Microsoft, I don't think you put the big marketing push behind season 2. I think that's like a season
No.
3 or 4 deal. You
Wait.
wait
Oh,
until
no.
Forge, and you wait until there's a new big scale game mode, which could be like 2 years from now.
If you're
And-
Microsoft, you put your marketing budget into the new Forza Horizon releasing in like a couple years. Like,
In a
what the fuck
couple
are you
years-
wasting? Don't waste any more money in Halo. They've already wasted enough. Just move on.
You say
think-
that, but I disagree.
mean, Microsoft has
thi-
kind of proven that they don't need Halo to succeed. I mean, they just bought Activision Blizzard
yeah.
Yeah.
no,
during the
for sure.
downtime of Halo being.
Yeah,
kind of
I mean, like this
subpar.
Halo Infinite development probably swallowed like $500 million. So like, stop wasting money on Halo. It's not.
Well,
gonna
I
pay
think
off.
I think something in between because they already developed this. They're not just gonna abandon it. I think they're counting on a lot of people getting bored and going, okay, I'm over Halo. And then a year later, boom, Forge, boom, community update. And they'll entice everyone and they'll be like, hey, I haven't played Infinite in a while and this looks kind of cool. Maybe I'll come back. Like, you ever come back to an old game you used to play and you play it like a little bit longer, not as long as you did the initial time? I think maybe they're counting on that. They wouldn't just abandon a property.
I don't
If-
think they have that. Like, I don't know. I don't see them planning that.
I don't know.
They're just
Maybe.
lost.
I don't know. I think at the moment season 2 won't. I don't think the 50k boost will come because Halo 3 launching for MCC was not only a whole game launching, it was a very nostalgic and fan favorite game.
It was
2
also
maps and a few modes
Well, the
are
first time on
Halo
PC.
3.
Yeah, it was also Halo 3
Yes.
making its like PC appearance for the first time ever, which like
Right.
CE and Halo 2 before that, they had already been PC games in the past, even though they weren't like to the same degree. That
Yeah,
they
but
were
I
on
remember
Xbox.
playing like, yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
So Halo 3 had the benefit where sure it probably was never going to hold numbers because it was cashing in on nostalgia, but Infinite doesn't actually have that. Like it has to actually entice people to want to play the game. And but you like Nico's or you guys can all probably speak to this, but like I've been noticing a ton of comments lately where people are just like they're just commenting like, yeah, I think I'm done with Halo, or like I might check season 2 out, but I'm definitely done for now. And I've noticed like the frequency of those comments like twofold. Like they're just like exponentially growing every time I post a video, even if it's not like my video today was just covering like tactical ops, and I had a bunch of comments from people that were like, yeah, this I don't even think I need to play this. Like I might try season 2, but I'm done for now. And so like people are at this point completely writing the game off. So the longer someone stays away from the game, I think the harder it gets to actually pull them back, because they go do other things. You know, it's like for the same reason that, I mean, every 2 years I hop back into League of Legends, but like when you're committed to a game and you're playing it all the time, you kind of have like that ongoing knowledge. And even if you're not like happy with the game all the time, like, you know, you're still like connected with it. But the longer you go not playing it, you stop reading updates, you stop watching videos on it. Like
watch my videos, man. Jeez.
Yeah, Kevin's struggling out there. You guys need to watch it. But it does get harder to bring those people back, even, and obviously like big content drops are how you do it, and I don't really know if season 2 does that, right? Season 2 seems like it's an update for people that are still playing, but how many of those...
I was kind of expecting more of the same. Like I was expecting, like, I think I mentioned this to like Minputs on our Twitter when we asked on Twitter, but like it was like I was thinking like a couple maps, new modes, and a new battle pass, and so like a sandbox update. It's kind of like what I was expecting for season 2. Like if anyone was expecting it to be like how it brings people back to Halo, like it was never going to be that update. It was never meant to be that update. But I think the only way you can really have like
that update though.
The only way that I think you really can like bring like the community at large back to Halo, if you're gonna do like a Halo type thing, it honestly had to be like campaign DLC or something, like an expansion. Like that's...
Yeah, that'll bring people back 100%. But that's also, I hate getting into this, but the campaign, they almost like need to be like talked about separately, because the campaign for Halo can be super successful, but it's completely meaningless. Like those players, just like the Doom, like if you pull up Doom Eternal today, it's not like a game that held players, right? But it's a fucking fantastic game, but it's a game focused around a single player campaign. Most people play it once and then you're done. Or even like the DLC drops for Doom, if you go look at the Steam charts, they're way fucking below when the game launched, because even single player games, after you have all your big hype for the release, your DLC drops don't bring as many people back. So like, yeah, I agree, like a big campaign drop probably brings a decent amount of people back, but it also probably brings them back for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Unless you're also accompanying it with a big multiplayer update, there's not going to be much that really keeps them there, unless 343 did something crazy where the campaign actually becomes like super replayable, like a Destiny Light type deal, you know?
Yeah, I have a feeling it would probably be like a Destiny, like Forsaken kind of thing happening with Halo. At least that's the most optimistic way I can look at it. Where it's like I'm expecting like either every year, which the way Halo Infinite's going right now, I'd hope it'd be every year, but every 2 years to get like a full on like campaign DLC expansion kind of thing, which would be pretty sweet. I'm hoping for a whole year, like every year, because I mean, like the kind of content we're gonna be getting, which it seems like for the rest of this year, like man, you gotta finish out strong with like something really good, and probably with like the release of a campaign DLC, you probably at that point you have more fixes, you have more features put in, and so then like bringing the general public back in, then you'd have things like Forge and maybe like a custom game browser and more social modes and better battle pass and stuff like that. You know, that would keep people playing. But I think right now we're just kind of like we kind of mentioned earlier, just kind of beta testing the game, infinite beta.
Yeah.
I mean,
Until further notice.
Another Microsoft franchise we could almost compare this to, though, would be Sea of Thieves, though. And they did a at E3. We still have E3 coming up this year, and there's still a chance they could be waiting to reveal something big, like a big expansion. But if you remember, like last year, they did the big like story thing for Sea of Thieves, and it did revitalize the community a little bit. Just kind of giving people more to do when they do log on. But I mean, Sea of Thieves like used to have really high numbers, and then it kind of slowed down and then picked up a bit. But still, like at this point, it's interesting to see a game like Sea of Thieves, which was flamed for having no content at launch back in 2017, and nowadays it can at least have somewhat of a consistent numbers because they kept adding stuff slowly over the years. And
Yeah, that's a true comparison. When that game first came out, it was like notoriously bad for being very dry and just an open, bland world. And it's come a long way for sure. So yeah, Infinite's kind of in that same boat right now. Who knows what it'll be like in the future?
yeah, I'd be interested to see what they do with E3 this year. That could be a really big tell if they don't announce anything at E3 at all. It's likely meaning we're gonna have another like really rough
Forge
year.
demo.
Oh no, please no.
No,
Oh, like them showing
no.
Forge off at the
No,
They're
a Forge
forging a
demo,
map
yeah.
live at E3.
game crashes 5 times.
The UI
Probably
is
should I
so
get
bad
one
you
way to
can't.
get Forge
The
Labs
UI
to
is
come back to
buggy.
Halo.
You know what I was
Pieces are
thinking?
flying around the canvas.
Speaking of the UI, backpedaling just for a second to co-op, I had this vision because I've kind of become accustomed to Halo Infinite's jankiness and how scuffed it is. I visioned like co-op and trying to like join a lobby breaking. Like I just saw the UI not working and it just being so jank. And I gotta say, I'm just like so overwhelmingly used to it at this point. Like I don't know. Kind of off track, but back to Forge, like I don't really I don't have much hope, especially with the UI cuz they got to get that right, then they got to make it work with joining players and then they have to fix customs beforehand. I don't know. When do y'all think realistically what like month, year, whatever, when do y'all think we're going to get Forge?
January,
get a
February
holiday of-
2023.
My guess,
Yeah.
optimistically, I think maybe toward the end of the year. Like I for some reason, I just don't believe it's going to be here at season 3. But I could see maybe them trying to pull like the co-op thing where it doesn't come at the launch of season 3, but maybe it comes like halfway in between. But maybe not, because Forge probably is a feature that you ship as like a season content drop. Because that, unlike co-op, I do feel it actually is. Like, sure, it should have been there at launch or closer to launch, but at least Forge is a big content drop, especially if it's kind of as good as it's supposed to be, you know?
I'm just confused. Don't they have a whole separate company making Forge?
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but
They do? I haven't heard anything about that.
Oh no, they definitely have. They call like something with Sky.
It was like
I think
Sky Labs or
they
something.
made-
Sky Labs.
they made
Skybox Labs?
H5,
Yeah, they
right?
worked on Skybox Labs. I think worked on the Combat Evolved Anniversary. I think for the most part, I think they were the ones who kind of created like a lot of the campaign stuff in CE Anniversary. If I remember correctly, could be, but that could be Saber though. But I'm pretty sure it was Skybox, but can't remember.
Saber
it was
did
Saber.
CEA, but
Okay, well, I'll
Yeah,
just
but
bullshit.
I
You should
thought-
call me out then.
I thought the
I mean,
company
like, don't
doing
even drag on for 5 minutes. I know what I'm talking about.
I thought the company doing Infinite's Forge was the company that did Halo 5s, or like helped with Halo
Skybox
5s.
Labs.
Yeah, is that it?
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a bunch of assist studios working on
Yeah,
Infinite, so
yeah.
I mean, from what we've seen from Forge, though, like on a positive note, it looks really cool. Like between the scripting and the canvases, the different items. Like I've seen a lot of the blocks. You can apparently place dead bodies. I know that was a thing in Halo 5, but maybe you could do a more scripted storytelling sequence. Maybe we'll finally get artificial intelligence and campaign enemies and marines and stuff in Forge. Maybe you can make your own campaign missions. Probably high hopes. But with the scripting, I saw a dude make like a gravity gun with the
Mhm.
sentinel beam, and he
Yeah.
picked
Yeah, I
up
saw that.
blocks and stacked
Yeah,
them.
that
I was just
insane.
scrolling through Reddit, and I'm like, why don't we have this now? But from what they have, I'm kind of excited for it. I just hope the
Yeah, but
player
the
base
thing
will be
you also
big
gotta
enough.
know, the thing you gotta know that we're not supposed to even see any of this stuff. These are all leaks. Like this is stuff that like 343 didn't want to get out. Really, I don't know how these leakers are doing it, but they're doing it,
It's
and they're sharing it
all
around on Twitter. And
the-
343 is not taking them down for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know why
but,
343 is
like,
doing that, but all
we're
the
not
Forge,
supposed to know this, you know.
Yeah, all the Forge shit we're seeing is from the initial Forge build that was broken in the flight. Like all those Forge links aren't anything recent. Like the forge that those people are privately forging on is hopefully a lot further than what we're seeing leaks wise, because everything I've heard from people who have gotten into that is that's just the forge that shipped with the flight back in whenever the hell we had the flights.
And it's also
They
kind
just
of
found a way to
bugged
keep
still.
it live on their system.
Yeah, exactly.
How did they find it though?
But
That's what I'm
what do you
curious.
mean? How did they find it? 343 shipped it in the files, and they just fucking unlocked it because
Oh, they just.
I don't think
Why would they?
343
I
realized
don't
it
know.
was a PC game, and people would like mess with the files and stuff.
That's pretty wild.
Is it though?
I mean, you
Sounds
would
like
think you
3v3.
would ship a product and
Didn't
you'd
they
be
put
like,
the whole fucking script for the campaign into the flight? Like,
Yep.
what do you expect from them?
It was like it wasn't the whole script technically. Wasn't it like all the prompts? I should go back now that I've played the campaign.
It was all
and
like
Yeah, I remember.
the descriptions of levels, like you know,
Yeah.
go save this thing to do that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
oh, so they spoiled the entire campaign by accident in the files.
Yeah, you don't remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, the
And there's something
motorbike
about they
flight.
I'm
showed
glad I
they said
don't
something about
remember
like
that.
Cortana's death or something like that in there.
Were those leaks accurate? Because I never went back.
Yeah,
and,
either
you
did
know,
I.
I looked,
Oh,
and they
I think
were accurate.
they were all right. Great. That's
Dude,
great.
how do they keep doing the same things over and over?
I mean,
I don't know.
nothing changed in years. I don't
Okay.
know.
So I have an idea, guys. All right. So if we all got together, we work together, and we make our own video game, right? And it's
Good luck.
like Halo. Listen. It's like Halo,
No, I know what's coming.
but
He wants to
instead
make Splitgate 2.
Spartans, they're rats,
Oh shit, dude. Oh,
and they're like
That's a
shit.
mod.
they're in like little Spartan gear.
I mean, I could do the music.
Yeah, and we'll just-
Yeah, well,
we'll just do
you
that.
could do. Yeah, we could
An arena
collab on the
shooter
soundtrack here.
with
Can I do voice
rat.
acting?
I'll be your Salvatore.
There you go.
Here's the thing. Elijah's been pitching this red shooter idea for like 3-4 years now. Like it started with Call of Duty rats, and
It's
now it's
Rats
Halo
of
rats.
Duty.
And there was like pirates in between too.
Pirates, yeah. First,
Oh
CFP's
my. Oh
pirates.
no.
No,
I mean,
like,
I could join the team. I'll release delays and community updates
There
disappointing
you go.
people.
No, like, okay, so Rats of Duty, the main character who leads the squad, his name is Captain Mice instead of
Oh
like.
no, get out of here. Get out of here, Elijah.
All right. Pulling it back
Oh,
on track.
God.
So we kind of all said when we think Forge might launch. I mean, it sounds like most of us are either next year or probably toward the end of this year, right?
Yeah, I don't really see it happening this year. I mean, I hope it does. I mean, things sound like they're on track, but I mean, things sound like they're on track for co-op, and then that's getting delayed, and that's hopefully season 2. But you know, it's ready when it's ready, I guess, right?
Yeah. But so okay, when we get Forge, assuming
I'd say it's probably coming with season 3 if I had to guess, but there is definitely a real prospect that it doesn't.
yeah. So assuming season 3's big content drop is Forge, and maybe it comes with like a couple maps again or something. Do you guys think that really is when the game starts to turn around, or are we still way behind the ball?
No,
so-
I
I don't know.
don't see
Can they
Forge
turn this
like,
game
being a
around?
revival of Halo. I see
Yeah.
it being a way to do like some kind of viral content or something to
I mean,
be like,
will it
oh my god, you can flush people down a toilet in Halo or something like that. You know, like it did in Halo 5. Like I saw that go around Reddit a lot because I was just like, what the heck is this? You know, kind of wacky game mode. But like, if you really wanted to like bring back the game, oh my god, this guy's walked off the map. But that I would say like you need to have like some big, cool new matchmaking mode that would really spice things up a lot. Be it battle royale, maybe whatever the hell Certain Infinity's working on. It's like some kind of like new, fun matchmaking mode that's easy to play and get in and get out kind of stuff. Like bringing Forge stuff content is great because obviously it adds a lot more longevity and more game modes and stuff like that. But really only gets utilized in custom games and maybe the custom game browser that comes with Forge, which I think.
If it doesn't come with that, man, that's such a I wouldn't be
Oh yeah, it
surprised
needs
if
a
it
custom
doesn't.
games browser.
But if it doesn't come with a custom games browser, man, what are we doing? What's the point?
we need to
Oh
get a
yeah,
their system. I mean, we still need to fix custom games so you can make custom game types right now. There's just so much that needs to happen.
Yeah.
There really is a lot of work they got to do, and I think they'll get it done, but it will be a long time.
and like the
Development's
thing is,
hard.
I don't know if they'll revive anything. Like it's like I guess at least one thing with Forge, it's up to the players then to create stuff to get people to play the game, and it's not up to 343 to create stuff, which might make it better. So maybe, but I mean, it's just like a chance. It's not a guarantee.
I mean, let's be honest. Halo 5 had a fantastic Forge, and that game died. So
It was on a dead or on a dying or on a failing console.
yeah, but
Without
it-
one whole
and
month
it
later.
split screen.
When it came.
Yeah, right. Forge came out a month later, and it was already too late. No, Forge is coming out a year later, and it's probably like 12 months too late.
to be
So-
fair though, when Forge came out, I don't think they had the custom game browser.
They didn't.
No, they didn't.
No,
They didn't.
not in H5.
That was like a year later.
Yeah.
But when that came out, that
The
was
Halo 5's
awesome.
custom game browser also kind of sucks because it's just like 24/7 of the same game type instead of like you being able to like switch your maps and stuff, right? It's
You
not like
You had
can-
those. You had the clan lobbies.
You had
Those
the-
were interesting.
There, you in Halo 5s you can search for like a specific mode. If
yeah,
you,
sure, but like it's like I don't know, like
But then you
back
have
in the
to
day when
leave
you played
when you're
custom
done.
games.
It doesn't like
Yeah.
the game just doesn't end, and then like the host puts a new one on. It's just
Oh.
that one game type,
No,
Yeah,
that's not
like-
true. That's not true.
or at least whenever I go on there, that's what I run
Yeah,
into.
like right now.
Is it
we
different on
play it the other-
Xbox? Because Halo 5 Forge, you can host, like, if you host a game through the custom games browser.
Oh, the PC Forge. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's different. then.
Oh, it's different.
Don't-
Okay, I thought it was the
I
same.
think so. On Xbox, it's just 24/7.
Oh, okay. Because like on PC, it works like your game ends and then you can load up like a totally different thing. But like everyone in the lot. Wait, does everyone in the lobby stick in there? Or does it kick them all out?
No, I probably
Shit,
works
I
the
don't
same. I don't know
remember.
why it would work differently. But I'm just saying,
Maybe-
like, it
maybe
should
I'm wrong.
be, like people should. I mean, obviously, people should be able to make their 24/7 playlists if they want to. But it also, like, if I want to host a server with like my favorite, I don't know, gun game maps,
Yeah.
I should be able to like just fucking switch modes or maps after the round ends, or like put
Yeah.
on a playlist. Like they did that in MCC, so hopefully,
Sorta. MCC's
will return
is,
for Infinite.
MCC's is kind of jank though. Like
sure, it's jank and all, but at least the spirit of like being able
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
make a server with different maps is there.
all of the cool things that they've added into MCC haven't at all shown up in Halo Infinite, because I think that they're really drastically like two different like departments working on these separate games. Like I know like Splash Damage, who does the MCC updates, you know what I mean? Like they're across, they're like in Europe, right? And obviously they collaborate with 343 and for the armor designs and stuff, they get, you know, their art directors at 343 who do stuff like that. But like a lot of the functionality and features, like they're not there in Halo Infinite at all. So I'm just like, I don't really know how much there is like taking these concepts and ideas that are well ingrained into MCC and use, like, if they're ever going to actually be ideas that even transfer over to Infinite. If people who work on Infinite have even played those features on MCC.
Probably not. Then.
Yeah. I don't really have a response to that. I mean, I agree with you. A
Yeah,
lot
when they
of
were rolling out all those MCC updates, like I thought a lot of that stuff was going to be in Infinite, but doesn't. it's
No,
not the
because like
case, so.
nobody at working on Halo Infinite played MCC updates. I don't know if they play Halo. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't know. Sure, they play Infinite, the game they worked on, but like, I don't know.
I kind of wish that they would have just done like a Halo Online stuff and just use that engine and just use that for the next iteration of Halo for multiplayer at least.
I think the problem is that
Um,
engine's like too old and janky to like actually have a AAA game on. Like you can have like modders do it, but let's not. All right, everyone talks about El Dorito and Halo Online and like how fantastic they were. I agree, great game, loved it. That game is jank as fuck though. Like, and I
Yeah,
don't.
but couldn't you expect it? Like, I mean, Infinite is jank as fuck. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Infinite
They
just a
thought it
standard.
was okay enough for Halo Online, right? Like in modifying the engine and using it for,
Yeah,
because it was well, we recently learned this because we were doing a topic on something similar, but it was a modified version of the ODST engine that
Yeah.
Saber Interactive worked on until like 2016 or something, 2015. And I'm just like, I just wonder though, like if they would have been able to just easily port features in though from older Halo games and then refine them rather than having to build some of these features up like from the ground up, what things would have looked like. Because I don't know, like if 343 is capable of managing like these like very high functioning like parts of the engine, like a forge mode or a multiplayer mode.
And I mean,
They-
it's
it
still
takes
the
them
same
so
engine,
long
right?
it takes them so long to update a playlist and like put Slayer in, or it takes them so long to add King of the Hill into the game. Like it just makes you wonder, like that stuff wasn't hard back in the day for whoever was running. It wasn't hard for them to do some of this stuff with MCC with Halo 3. I just
Halo
wonder what it
5
would have looked like if they did it.
Halo 5 had a weekend rotational playlist every weekend. Like at the drop of the game. We would get like a cool playlist every weekend. It was always like at the start of the game it was like doubles because that wasn't a permanent playlist. There was like arena breakout. Like they tried a bunch of different shit. And yeah, in Infinite you get an event.
Didn't they do monthly updates too?
Yeah. They
Oh
did.
yeah, there was a
Monthly
lot
map
of
drops?
there's a lot of content in Halo 5.
So one of the devs responded to the Actman and said like
saw
it
that.
wasn't viable. But I mean,
Sustainable or something.
I don't like sustainable because of
But
the
it wasn't
burnout.
viable, and what like?
yeah, like it was
like
burned.
burnout
They were
was
Halo 5?
overworked or something. It was a
Well,
lot of stress.
Sure, but like I don't know. Okay, they've done monthly updates. Can't they like, do 3 months updates? Like, I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
what I was gonna
that's
say.
not
I don't
viable.
think anyone's
here's-
asking for monthly updates like that.
And here's my thing. I'm not someone like that needs like a lot of new content coming in like weekly or monthly to keep me playing the game. Just the problem with Infinite for me is just a lot of those core features and modes are not here or are broken. Like that's
Yeah.
my problem. If that was all good from the start, like then yeah, I'd be playing this game a lot more. But it's just like I don't need constant new maps and stuff like that. Like I was cool. I was fine playing the old Halo games back in the day where you got like 3 map packs and that was like it and some new playlists. Like that's fine.
Like obviously if there's a burnout because they're constantly having to like do maps every month and stuff like that, then like fix that process. Hire more designers and get stuff going so the workload isn't overwhelming for your team. Put them in different teams and alternate or something. It's like same thing with like what's going on with like slowing the pipeline down and all these issues with like not being able to get fixes rolled out quick enough and big team battle being broken. This is Microsoft. Can they not find engineers? Like just move some people from an engineering department at Microsoft to work on this. Like, you know what I mean? It's not. I don't feel like finding the talent is as difficult for a company like 343 that is literally in Microsoft than it would be for another company that is like an indie studio or something like that, or even a bigger studio that has to hire in engineers. But like, there's already the talent there. Like, just allocate some of the existing teams that are working on stuff at Microsoft to do that. Slow down development on the Connect 3 or whatever they're doing right now. And like
Connect 3.
I think here's
HoloLens.
two things.
Get all those
Elijah.
engineers who worked on HoloLens to
Oh my god,
I
dude, the
think-
HoloLens. Don't
I
give me.
think
I was
here-
on that team for like 3 years and nothing was happening.
Here's the sad truth about that, Elijah. I don't think any of those people want to work on Halo. I think they would
why
rather
work on Halo Infinite?
they
That
would
might be
rather
it.
work on other things. Like I don't think that Halo is an attractive job. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think they have problems finding people. I think it's a management issue. I find it hard to believe that Halo Infinite currently doesn't have enough development resources. I think it's 100% a management issue. I think clearly something has gone wrong in your management chain where people can't get anything done. And because that's what we see, right?
I agree completely.
And I don't know if actually throwing people at that's the solution. I think the solution is somehow fix the management structure. Or
Yeah, right. Fix the
do-
management structure so that we can get a manager who can go and throw engineers at stuff.
yeah.
To like actually get done. Like Microsoft should get like they need to get management that knows knows how to lead this thoroughly, and then get a little task force together from Microsoft of engineers who don't even want to work on Halo but are definitely more than competent enough, and be like, listen, once you build a way for this development team to like get stuff done quickly, you're free. You know what I mean? You know how quickly these engineers will get
You're free.
something done and fix
You
it
put in your
quickly.
time. You're good.
Like, just get it done, and
Be free, my
you can take 6 months off and go back to working on HoloLens.
As much as I'd like to see that, Microsoft doesn't really need Halo, like we proved already. Or like they proved themselves by buying Activision, and they have, there's just so much to Microsoft, so many IPs, so many products. they don't need Halo. And I think it was, okay, 343, here's $500 million. You got 8 years. We gave you a delay. Release the product, and if it sticks, we'll give it more support. If it falls apart, we'll kind of abandon it. And I think it had a solid launch, and it quickly petered out because it didn't have what it needed. And I think Microsoft right now is just like, all right, we'll leave you to your own devices. You can work on it, but we can't afford anything more, Because even if they did save the game and made a big comeback, who's to say it doesn't get its players back? Even if it's the best game ever, people could just be moved on,
Like,
Just because the game's good doesn't mean people will come back, as tragic as that is.
if the multiplayer was good, I think people would keep playing it.
Yeah, I think they'd stick around if it was good, but people have already left.
Yeah,
and
there's
it's gonna
other
be months
good
in.
games that don't have a large population.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't see myself ever like coming back to Halo Infinite the same way I come back to like League of Legends or like Rainbow Six Siege.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? There's just not that, like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's-
they have to change the game. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just can't see a way right now. But
This is coming from someone who wants to see the game succeed, but realistically, I just don't think. I think, can a comeback happen? I think
Maybe.
Yeah,
there's a
I think so.
possibility.
fully possible. I believe so. I mean,
But it would take
when
some
the game came
time.
out, people were like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" Like everyone was agreeing that like Halo Infinite was awesome when it first
As
launched.
it was when it first launched. I still remember those weeks.
yeah, I mean, gameplay was fine. It's fine. The game was fun. But
And people were
there's
like,
too many
yeah, because
issues, too
the
little time.
foundations are there. We just need like the other stuff around it. So like that was the issue with like Halo 5, where like the gameplay itself, like fundamentally, the game was just so different than any other Halo game that was already like off-putting for like a Halo game itself. And then like you can't really like go back and change that like really. But then like with the Halo 5, like everyone's talking about, like everyone likes the gameplay of Halo 5. It just needs some more stuff to do in it,
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
biggest issue. And that can be easily be added in, changed, and upgraded. Or not, I shouldn't say easily, like,
Well,
like,
yeah.
hey, just
But at
make the
what
game,
point?
add more stuff. It's not easy, but like it's less complicated, I guess I would say.
But at what point won't players come back just because of the gameplay? Like, you know what I mean?
I
They're
think
gonna have to
it's
do like a
like-
really big title update, like
yeah.
It's like, if you look at
Year
the game
two
like
type thing.
Apex, right? They did something unique besides their gameplay. Gameplay was good, right? But they also had something unique about them, and that's why they kind of became popular. What is like? I don't think Infinite is gonna ever have something unique about it. It's just gonna have content eventually. So I don't know if that's
I think the
It's
sad
likely.
reality might just be that like arena shooters as a genre are dead.
Hey,
And this
don't you say
game,
that.
this game in particular, is also in a terrible state, which didn't help it in any way, shape, or form. But like, let's be honest, it was never going to hold those launch numbers. This game could have been perfect at launch, and I don't think it holds a fraction of them. Maybe instead of holding 2%, we hold like 20 or 30. But like,
I could see that.
how many people that you talk to, like at like not endemic Halo people, like my real life friends, they all stopped playing Halo Infinite within 2 weeks, and it wasn't because it didn't have content. It wasn't because the battle pass was bad. It wasn't because of desync. It was just because they didn't like the game. They didn't enjoy the gameplay, and I don't. While we all talk up the gameplay in Halo Infinite, I think the sad reality is I think this is just it's a niche genre with with a nostalgic IP. And so every time something comes out, the IP alone can push it to heights, right? The Master Chief himself is like one of the most like notable video game characters, especially on console, right? And that's never going to change. Like that will always be a thing. But I think the problem is that once you get past that point and people are actually have to play the game and they have to go play ranked and they have to play like BTB and stuff, then it kind of falls flat there. Now, the solution to that would be the one thing that everyone fought against at the start of the game, and that was to launch with something that was different, like wasn't Halo,
like innovate.
whether it was a battle royale and that. Every time I say that, someone's like, "Oh, battle royale, you don't need that." It doesn't have to be a fucking battle royale. It just needed to be something that isn't arena Halo gameplay. And
why the fuck are people so pressed when you mention Battle Royale, dude?
I don't know.
That shit would have been fun. That shit would have like fucking
Yeah, it would've been
gotten
awesome.
new players.
It could have
Like, and like, dude, I don't want to. I fucking hate the crusty old arena gameplay. I gotta be honest. That shit was never really fun. But like if it had a BR, I can see myself hop on more.
Well, it's
If
just-
it had
we've
Forge,
played
I would have
this-
seen
Here,
more.
here's
I
a
mean,
here's a
we've played Halo for what 20 plus years. Like 4v4
Yeah, but
Halo.
I've played Call of
like,
Duty for 20 plus
know?
years. I still enjoy the gameplay way more. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I just
if
arena
it's
shooter are niche.
if it's true that people are just bored of arena shooters and Halo gameplay now, like why do you think that is? I mean, people still love Counter-Strike, tactical
Yeah,
shooters.
but
People still
It's
love that.
tactical. Yeah, but that's different. Like,
It's
it feels
different, but I'm
rewarding.
saying people have been playing that a long time. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that's like Halo. I'm
Because
just saying
I-
Counter-Strike's old and people still love it.
yeah,
That's the same game.
I guess to answer your question, BHB, is it the genre that has lost appeal, or is it all the games that have come out in the genre have been bad? You know what I mean? Because like Counter-Strike and Valorant are bangers, right? They're extremely popular and tons of people play them. Now that's because they're both fantastic games, right? Whereas like, when was the last time we had a solid good arena shooter, right? I mean,
Okay, and that fell off too because nobody cares about
the
arena
problem,
shooters.
there's some Splitgate dudes in chat, and I love those guys. But Splitgate's not a great arena shooter. I mean, it is now, but like every time that game has launched, it has had mega issues. Like the first time it launched, it was broken. It didn't work very well on PC, and it like they didn't fix anything because at the time there was like 2 people working on it. Then it released on console, and it blew up again, and you couldn't get into the game for like 2 weeks. So like it had its issues there, but at the end of the day, now if you launch Splitgate, it's a good product. But I also think Splitgate is constantly going to have the issue that like the skill floor in that game is very high. Like people say it's hard to get into Halo because you have to learn maps and pickups, and you have the high time to kill. You have all of that in Splitgate, plus you have dudes that are like triple portaling around the map and instantly behind you. So I think
That's why I never
Actually-
played it.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I never played it.
I think
I
for
actually
the,
think
has-
time to kill.
A game that
Is-
has a really that's a really shitty arena shooter. Here's a really shitty arena shooter that will always have a bigger player base than Halo is Destiny 2's Crucible. Because here's the thing. Like
you're right.
at the end of the day, Crucible sucks, but it has a bigger player base than Halo because Destiny is a full game with like a lot to do and a lot of features and a lot of things to do. Like the multiplayer itself can't be the only thing holding Halo up. Like the campaign not having co-op kills it. The not having Forge mode, not having a firefight mode or something PvE related to do like with your buddies is a big deal. And them not evolving firefight and doing some sort of like replayable mission type thing, anything along those lines could have been really good because it would give you another way to level up, like the way your Spartan looks, another way for your progression. Because in Halo Reach, you could jump on and do firefight matchmaking with your friends, and that was like a core thing a lot of people did. And then they would forge maps and have custom game nights and stuff like that. And it's just like, and then when they're like on their lull time, they could jump in and play, matchmaking with their buddies or something. But having the variety when you're sick of playing an arena game over and over again kept you at least on the platform itself and invested in your Spartan and your progression overall. Where just having the one like thing with 3 different game types to play, when you get frustrated, you're just going to play a different game rather than like spending your time doing something different. Where like Destiny, it has Crucible and it's not the best PvP experience, but like there's so much to do in Destiny. People spend their time just making that their overall game that they play. And I think that's a big problem with Halo Infinite is that they just released like a very unfinished game.
And
Yeah,
Halo,
I was like-
Halo didn't even
Most-
need it. Like Halo didn't need to just be an arena shooter. Like if we had Forge, then
yeah.
I mean it could be a racing game. It can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean that's one of
be a
the
battle
the
royale.
great things about Halo.
Yeah. Dude,
I mean,
if they did a racetrack mode, like just separate, like unrelated to everything else, and it's just all racetracks all the time, like you would be able to establish a little core audience that's all they played, or that's like a big part of Halo, and you start to grow out like your audience in just overall features, even if it's a little scuffed at times.
Somewhere
No,
Duquesne is smiling hearing that.
I agree with you, Elijah, and I was tweeting about this and made a video on it. Like, I don't think Halo's success was ever its arena gameplay. I think it was the package. It was the fact that it innovated and like Halo 2 was mostly an arena shooter, but it also was like the first big console online game. So it was this huge innovative thing. And then you had Halo 3, which took that arena gameplay and added on all of these really cool like new innovative modes. Plus you had like the clan system and the match and like the party system and all this stuff in Halo 2 and 3 that well, Halo 3 didn't have clan system, but like you had all these, like you're saying, and even into Reach, where a lot of us would say Reach probably wasn't our favorite Halo. I'm not going to talk for you guys, but like the core gameplay of Reach I don't think is good, but the package of Reach is one of the best Halo packages we've ever gotten, and that's why even though Reach was kind of the start of the fall off for Halo, it was nothing near what we saw later on in like Halo 4 and 5. And you talk about people that would mostly play Firefight. Think how many people you heard of that would hit Inheritor playing nothing but Firefight, and you would just kind of like meme it. But at the same time, it's like they played a lot of the game and they played a game mode they enjoyed. And you're right, Infinite has none of that. Infinite has Arena or Arena on bigger maps, and I think that's obviously the main problem.
Yeah,
I
Big
was
Team
gonna
Battle
mention
also.
just-
I don't know.
I was going to mention
I
what
don't
you
think-
said about how like the Halo games used to be so innovative and revolutionary, and like and then we started losing features and modes with like since Halo 4.
Yeah.
We started losing stuff. We went backwards.
Every
What's
single 343 game just
Like,
slowly lowered
Like,
the length
what
of
the
the
hell?
game.
Like it's no question why the player base died off.
It's like, what's the end game
Kind of
content
obvious.
right now, right? Like you get to grind to Onyx and like get your number up. Like remember, like in Halo 3 and ODST even, and even Reach with their weekly challenges and like lasso stuff. But like there was those Vidmaster achievements where it's like survive, like what was it, 3 sets of firefight on heroic difficulty.
That's
and, like,
right.
People did that stuff and it was hard and it took hours and you had to get a good team together. Like, and Destiny
was
has
fun.
stuff like that with raids. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if it was like every 6 months, like a raid level experience that takes
Challenge,
multiple
yeah.
hours. You have to get a team together and you have to coordinate and it's hard. But like when you know what I mean? And then like maybe you get like a piece of an armor set every time you do it and you have to do it multiple times or something. But like little things like that at least remind people, like, if they don't want to play the multiplayer at all, they can take a break, but then they'll come back when it's time, to do the new like raid encounter. Or
Actually,
campaign
would be kind of
encounter.
And
sick
here's
if
the
they
sad
did
thing.
that, where like you like over the course of like a year, right? Like you had to do like a challenge that came around once a season, and like you get this new
Yeah.
piece that was like a really sick armor set. Then like after a year, you finally got it, right? I mean, that's a hell of a contract drip, but like something like that would be super prestigious, and people would grind the shit out of that and be like,
Yeah.
"Look at me, I have the new super Achilles or whatever the heck armor set it would be."
But here's the thing, I don't see Infinite ever getting to that point. Like, I don't know. I don't see them turning
have the
Infinite around
direction.
and making it the platform, or like to play. I think they're gonna put out Forge, and then probably rest on that, and then we'll see like, I don't know, 1 or 2 maps per season for like 10 years, and that's it. I really don't see like Infinite becoming like the platform with all this stuff you want to play, like Firefight, different modes, campaign DLC.
You won't get that
I don't
5
know.
years down the line eventually.
I don't see it. I
It's
think
a
at that
10-year
point
game.
they're probably gonna abandon it. Is it a 10-year game? They haven't talked about that plan
Halo
again, right?
Infinite Development.
They could have abandoned that plan already. So I don't know.
Probably so. Now, y'all are like completely on the right track. Elijah, you mentioned the Crucible. You were talking about the Crucible for a bit. I've played the Crucible, and my friend dragged me onto Destiny 2. I was like, oh man, I didn't have fun in Destiny 1. And I had a lot of fun in it. He had a lot of fun in it. He joined me for Infinite, and we played for like a week, but he hasn't had any interest in playing it. All my friends, we were all Halo kids. Like, we played Forge. We were all the casual, let's sit down couch co-op. And the problem is this game has 0 community support, no map editor, broken customs, so there's no casual experience. And then, like we said in the first podcast, the ranked system for tryhard players is also broken. So the entire package is broken, and it was like a delivered package, and they just dropped it down a set of stairs to where everything
I
is.
dropped it in the puddle.
And now the cardboard's all melted.
Yeah,
but
that's all soggy. You gotta take your socks off.
But it's not that the genre is outdated or it's dead, because arena shooters are an easy thing for anyone to grasp. It's just, walk and shoot, and then there's some, technical details to the gameplay, but people will play it if there's plenty to do. And like in Halo 3, you can make a racetrack. You can make crazy stuff. You could make a battle royale, like I saw in
Jenga.
Rapture Twitter. Jenga was so much fun.
That
I would get
was,
sick.
Okay, Jenga was
Well,
not fun.
Okay,
was great.
not Jenga, not Jenga. Invasion. You could make your own invasion. You could make.
Invasion
You
was
could
good.
think it. You could build it, and it was so
Mhm.
cool.
Well,
Forge
also,
was
sorry to cut you
therapeutic
off.
to me, like
Like,
as a kid. I'll finish up,
Ackman,
but
yeah, like
go ahead.
Actman actually kind of brought this up in his video too, talking about like how it's like Halo, we all know, has all these crazy amount of like sub communities compared to like any other game out there. But the thing was, it's like each one of those little sub communities kind of help support the game up to be like what it became, of like a really popular, more of a game, more of a social experience rather than just a game. And so like you had like the forgers, the custom game people, the sweaty tryhards, you had the machinima people coming in, you had, I mean, just like there's so many things you could do with like Halo back in like the Halo 3 days and Halo Reach days. And then like it's been kind of like slowly just kind of withered down to just like, you're playing 4v4 Slayer. That's about it.
And speaking of content, what do y'all think of the tactical ops event?
Yeah, well, we'll get to it. Are we kind of done talking about Infinite in general, just like the future and season 3 and beyond? Has everyone said their piece? We kind of, if anyone has
Yeah.
anything else, we can hit it. Otherwise, we can kind of move on.
Has it come across that I have no faith in Halo Infinite?
Then
Then-
comes across
I have
everybody.
faith in
Wait,
Okay.
I think you have some concerns. I got that.
Yeah, okay.
the
okay,
only
then-
screenshot of the new map was of that very obscure ramp for the arena map.
the ramp.
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm hyped about the ramp.
What about the BTB one? Nothing for that, right?
They
That's
just
just a
post a
concept art.
picture. It's just like, oh yeah, it's
it was
concept art.
art.
Although-
The
Yeah,
other
yeah,
one's
okay.
the other one is like a model.
they ever say
version
that-
of the map, but it's like it's a paint overs with like intended details kind of thing.
They probably will, but did they ever say anytime when or soon they're gonna show like a showcase of that, like
No.
actual showcase or
I
reveal?
don't think so.
Sure, there'll be like
Well,
a
when
live
season 2
stream.
There's
drops
gonna be a
sometime.
trailer, of course, but like
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be like a live stream probably like 2 weeks before or something.
yeah.
They did not mention it, but
There'll be something.
yeah.
We got
What
more
did it
information
take-
about season 2 coming. In April, I think they mentioned, right?
What would it
Like,
take for
log
you
on,
guys to just completely backpedal on everything that we talked about and be like Halo Infinite is going to be great? Like what? Like how far would 343 have to go where you would just blindly trust them moving forward?
Depends what the roadmap looks like, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it comes
Yeah, well,
down to
what would that roadmap look like for you?
How much in a season announcement? Like let's say they announce season 3 and it's enough to make you guys like have full confidence in 343. Like how much content would that have to look like for you before you're like, this is good?
Dang, it would.
I
I
think
mean, it
it-
kind of depends on how you
Forward.
play your Halo. Like I mentioned earlier, there's like so many different sub communities to Halo that like each person's played it in their own way, which made Halo so great. But then we don't really have that right now. So like for
What
me,
they
for
would-
example, like I mainly play BTB and Rank. Those are like the two modes I like to play. And Halo Infinite has both those, and they play out pretty well. Like yeah, more maps would be great, and maybe some more modes, but so far like the gameplay itself and like just be able to play Rank to BTB, like I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I
what
think
they
it
would
would
need to
have to
do
be-
just isn't realistic. So
Like the unrealistic amount of content they'd have to provide is just staggering. But I mean, I think the minimum for me would be a forge, a customs browser, add infection. Like if this is all season 3, they announced we're adding forge. You can play forge with your friends. You can now do infection, because infection you can make like everything. You can make like tag game modes. I think cops and robbers was infection. A lot of fun like horror game types. Horror I say with quotes, where they do like a ghost in the haunted mansion. A lot of fun, really fun game modes. Like I'm saying, just casual fun come from infection. It's a great sandbox just as a game type, and I'm thinking that along with just a lot of quality of life updates and probably like 4 new maps and maybe a couple Forge campuses and then fixed theater, I would think, okay, Infinite's in a good spot. There's plenty to hold me over, and I actually enjoy it again. Because right now, guys, I do not have fun on Infinite for more than an hour every week. Once a week. Like once a week I have to play it for an hour and then I get kind of tired of it. Because there's just not a lot to do. I've done everything. Granted, I have played the crap out of it, so maybe I've kind of worn myself off. But
Okay.
I'm only level 39 in the battle pass. Like I haven't even played. I've played like 250 games.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm not
someone.
further than that either.
I am someone that used to love to grind Halo, and one of the things I spend like most of my time doing when I'm playing Halo has always been ranked Team Slayer. Like that's my thing, and this game does not have ranked Team Slayer. It didn't even have Team Slayer at launch. Like that's insane.
That's
You didn't
right.
have Team Slayer at launch. Come on,
But-
come on. That one was
Uh,
easy.
The thing is, I mean, maybe I'm assuming, but I don't think that's what Elijah was asking. Elijah's asking, what would they have to put out for them to like turn around their image and
I know.
Yeah, I think
For me, that
you know
it's
what I
just
mean?
an unrealistic amount of content, so I won't even.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So
Yeah,
have
it
they
was
worked
too much.
themselves into a corner where they cannot fucking ever
No,
deliver
I
on
think-
anything?
I think here's the thing. If we see multiple seasons back to back with like actual content that isn't broken and is fun, I think you start to gain goodwill again. I mean, as annoying as the people on Twitter are that just constantly fucking bash everything 343 does, I mean, most people now would say MCC is a pretty good product, right? It took too long, but like I think 343 can turn the image around to the game, but that doesn't really mean it turns the success around. So I guess to answer your question, Elijah.
Wait. They've turned MCC's image around based on like games that were hugely popular.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't
true.
know. I don't think that's not a success. You know what I mean? They just got
Yeah,
somewhere where the game already should have been. Like I don't
Fair.
know.
Because the
Fair.
game's still dead.
Yeah.
3,000,
So I
4,000
think
players.
to answer Elijah's question, season 2 needs to like not only bring the content that they've already released, but I think we need to see actual like fixes start coming to the game, because at the end of the day they can add fucking 30 maps. If I'm still getting shot around corners and the rank system still fucking dog shit, I'm not going to enjoy the game. So we need to see core issues with the game fixed. I want to not play cheaters when I play a fucking tournament. Like they offhand mentioned some of that stuff, but we need to see fixes like that before we can pile all the content in the world on top of it. But if the core game is still broken, the core progression is still broken, the core ranked progression is still broken, I don't think it matters. So we need to see not only the season 2 content, but we need to start to see like signs they're fixing the stuff, because they can give me dumb blog posts every day of the week about how they're thinking about fixing some of this stuff, but we haven't actually seen any of this stuff have meaningful fixes. Like changing it so you get a free challenge every time you end a game isn't meaningful progression. You know what I mean? So they haven't fixed any of this stuff. They've just band-aided a few things here and there. And until we see them start to actually fix the game and work on new content, then it kind of seems kind of like a lost cause. Whereas like if we start to see promising signs in season 2 and season 3 can actually ship with Forge, or even if it shipped out like a little bit after season 3, it worked and it had the custom game browser, and we started to see maybe a better variety of playlists, and maybe the events aren't literally just playlists that I can custom games I can make with my friends in 2 seconds. Like that's the kind of stuff that we need to start seeing. I don't know if we do start seeing any of that, but that I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we need to see like like a roadmap I think a roadmap showing the future beyond just these significant content drops is equally important.
I agree. I think maybe we get past season 3 and they acknowledge like, hey, launch of the game was rough, but we feel the game is in a better spot at its core now. Here's some cool things to look out for in the future. We have Certain Affinity working on a brand new game mode to Halo. We're not going to touch on it now, but you can expect it in 2024 or something like that, or late 2023, or just things to look forward to in the future beyond just arena and BTB maps, right? Because I mean those are cool, but I think the game needs more than that,
Right. And not to fault 343 on not expanding on anything that they're doing with like a story perspective yet, because it is a little early. But when it is time to start announcing these content-filled seasons, which they really should start thinking of, they might want to think about long-term teasing that there will be something story-related eventually coming. I mean, we all expect there's going to be a campaign expansion at some point. So, like, even if it's the slightest tease that down the road there is going to be something story-wise that's worth staying invested in Halo Infinite if you're more of like a lore person, it could also go a long way. Besides, obviously, doing a big content drop for Forge and custom games, a big content drop for some sort of new game mode or some sort of new feature, that would kind of like what we talked about, and then. I do think that they should really try to optimize the engine that they have built instead of building a new engine for every single Halo campaign, and try to, or optimize the engine or do all the work in between, but utilize the engine and the stuff that they already have built now to actually get some narrative stories out there, because it's been so long since we got a campaign on a regular basis that it's like, can we finally just like use this engine and just get some more stuff out there, because a lot of people are invested in the story side of Halo too.
I agree.
I
I think there's a lot.
earlier.
There's a lot of
ahead,
untapped
Rush.
potential on the PvE side of this game. Whereas like right now it was just a one and done campaign for the most part. But and that is what Halo has kind of always been. I mean, there's replayability to it to a certain degree, but it has always been a mostly linear campaign, and this one's a mostly linear campaign with some open world stuff. But if they can actually come up with, obviously new story beats, but actual replayable PvE content, maybe it's firefight, maybe it's something like that, but something that actually gives like PvE and like lore players something. I mean, you already talked about this with Destiny. I mean, a lot of people stick around in Destiny because they play all the PvE shit, right? And I don't think Halo needs to be Destiny per se, but I think there's a lot more you could do with the PvE side of the game that it's very untapped. And I mean, they've tried it a little bit. Like Halo 4 had Spartan Ops. I mean, that was not the best thing in the world.
That was already the downfall, though.
yeah, but they tried like regular PvE drops, right? Which I don't know. I mean, I guess I haven't even played Spartan Ops.
By the way, did we hit 100 viewers on the stream here, Rash? So you had to play Spartan Ops?
No, luckily. It's great news. But no, yeah, I think there's a lot of untapped potential like with the IP per se, and I mean, I don't know. You're right. The engine seems to be quite the holdup. So maybe if they could figure out how to use the engine they built, that would.
We talk a lot about.
Who made the engine was still working there.
Yeah, we talk a lot about all the things that need to be added to this game and the bugs that need to be fixed and stuff, and there's a lot of them. But like one thing that I think 343 could do now to give people some hope is just talk to us and not be completely silent. Like they're just not saying anything right now. Just talk to me. What's going on? What are we looking to do? Like other than the recent season 2 blog post, there was nothing, and now there hasn't been really anything since then. They're just so silent.
They don't.
I know,
have
but
anything.
they don't. You don't have to give me an exact date when something's coming. Just tell me what we're looking at. What are we It's firefight, like, is that something you guys are even working on, or like, let us know. Like that's the least you could
Here's
do.
the thing. I assume they're not working on any of that because they're not talking about it. So
you want to have to assume if they said it, like
Well,
I guess they don't want to
also-
say, "Hey, we're not working on any of this. Go fuck yourself." And they don't want to say that, but like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
talk to
They're
us
not
in some
working.
way. Like,
I mean, there are people in the company. It's not some soulless, just especially not 343. It's not just some soulless corporation. There are people, and I'm sure they're just as disappointed with the game as we are because they probably really, really wanted it. I mean, people don't want to ship a bad product that they have to spend hours of painstaking time to go back and fix while they're getting yelled at. I'm like every single post 343 has made, like 343 used to get defended a lot, but a lot of people have just grown tired of the game. And I was actually kind of defending the game a lot when the game first came out because it was fresh and I was like, guys, come on, it's really fun. I enjoy it. But eventually there's only so many times you can get just smacked with disappointment before you just slowly it just erodes your positivity towards something and makes you actually kind of angry. And so I don't really defend the game that much anymore, even though I still play it and do enjoy it from time to time. But neither do a lot of fans, and a lot of fans are actually willing to be more negative and like angry than someone like me. Like, keep in mind the subreddit got shut down. Remember that? And I imagine like the community managers, like every time I make a post, it just gets a ton of anger. Where's this? Where's Forge? Where's this? So I imagine they're probably disheartened. They're like, we don't really want to.
Joe saying
I
like,
mean,
here,
I don't
here's a
think
picture of me
they
flying in
don't
my
want
plane.
I don't think they're allowed to. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I don't
Probably
think.
I mean,
not.
that
I don't.
just comes with the territory. I mean, you're a community manager. I mean, that's just what
You
you're gonna
have
get
to
Yeah,
do
and I
that.
mean, yeah,
replies
you'll
like
see
that. I
fucking
mean, it's just
crazy
gonna
people.
happen.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
the thing is,
The
I don't think
internet,
they're
I don't
allowed
know.
to even be transparent, and I
I
think
think it's
that's
just too
maybe.
Well, they
overwhelming.
can't talk about everything.
Sure,
they
but
can
like
talk
I
about
don't know.
some
We've seen
stuff.
like stuff where
Oh,
like
they can't do anything.
like fucking engineers talking about like the engine, right? And then one like higher up that speaks for corporate more like immediate backpedals on what the guy said, like you know what I mean? And like it's just like I don't know. I don't
Yeah, and
think they're
that's
allowed
pretty
to talk about shit.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I
Probably
remember seeing
because
that stuff.
I did notice that the Halo subreddit did remove the 343 response tag on their website. So
Did they
I guess
really?
probably just so then like, yeah, they removed it. So I'm guessing just so then the people who like an employee who wants to respond doesn't get harassed being like, where's this? Where's that? Where's my game? Kind of stuff.
I mean, people are mad and they have a right to be. I'm not trying to say how dare they be mad about some it's just a video game. People say it's just a game, but like it is disappointing because it's something you pay money for and you are anticipating something to come out and it be as good as the old days or at least be enjoyable, and it feels kind of crappy. I get it. I'm not knocking people for being disappointed, but I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
I don't
mean,
know why. I
I
don't know
mean,
why
why can't
say
people
that.
be
It's
upset?
just they say it's
Like-
just a game, and it's like,
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
like-
criticizing it. I'm criticizing it like
it's
it's just
some
a game.
people's
So,
livelihood. It's some people's livelihood.
and
Like
that too.
if they make videos on it or if they stream.
I mean, even besides that, if I go to McDonald's and my fucking burger tastes like shit, like I'm gonna be
oh,
upset.
it's just a
Like,
food.
It's just a
a
food.
burger.
Like what the fuck? Like I don't know. I was just disappointed with the games. I'm like a little upset. Like I don't know. Obviously, there's fucking people that are unhinged, and yeah, that's different. But like I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's a
I
little
don't
too
think there's
much.
an
That's what I'm
issue
getting at.
with like being upset that the game sucks. And like
Yeah,
I mean,
even
I
if
used to work
like
at I used to work at McDonald's. There were definitely some unhinged people that come in.
oh
Oh,
definitely,
jeez.
and I showed him no respect. But I don't know, dude. Just like dude. I don't
Yeah.
know, dude. Why can't you
I-
be
I-
upset? Just let
I
people be
just-
upset.
Yeah, let people be. I just don't think people. I don't think they have anything to talk about, and they know that anything they say could be used against them by the community, which by now is very passionate. All that's left of Halo Infinite are the Halo
Well, I
fans.
mean,
No casual
I think-
players.
I don't know. I think people would appreciate some kind of transparency more than
Me too,
not
me
saying
too.
more than
Oh, yeah.
not saying anything at all. Like I mean,
No, transparency is important. And like if you look at other games, there's pretty people are pretty transparent. Like I don't know.
Me
I mean,
too.
yeah, there's always those people that are just gonna constantly hate no matter what. Yeah, but your
Sure, but that's
fans will
those are separate
appreciate
from like the people that are upset with
transparency.
Halo
Yeah.
Infinite. Yeah, like I don't know.
I mean, like it's like you see on Twitter, like Joseph Staten will post a picture like, "Hey, look, I went flying today. It was fun." People reply back like, "Fix your fucking game."
Yeah, I mean,
That's a little extreme,
obviously, like that shit's annoying, but it also like comes with the territory. I mean, if you work on like a public facing product, whether it's a video game, a movie series, like anything like that, your social media kind of just becomes direct. If you're the face for that thing, then your social
You're the
media
thing.
people come to your social media for that thing. Like, I mean, I'm sure Joe Staten's a cool guy, but I don't think people follow Joe Staten to see him fly, right?
Yeah,
They-
or
Yeah,
people
that's
don't follow
true.
Or,
community
like,
managed for the
fucking-
crypto talk.
Yeah, and
Like-
that's just cringe.
Wait,
Uh,
wait, is this about the Halo community manager? Did he talk about crypto?
What do you mean?
All the
How'd
time.
How'd you miss this? All right.
Hey, and then you got shit on and made a new account.
I was living under a rock. Wait, who is this?
No, oh my god.
No
Just
names.
Watch Halo
no
followers
names.
video.
Alright, watch
Watch Halo.
that.
Ball. He's the new
Watch
he's a drama lord of Halo now.
that. Dude, fuck it, all right. But yeah, so like for the same reason that community manager, like I understand being a community manager for this game probably fucking blows. Like anytime you do
Yeah.
anything, you just have people that shit on you. But here's the thing that sucks. That's the job. Like you are the community manager for a Halo video game, and the Halo video game isn't very good. So it it is what it is. Like I know it is their social, like personal social media, but it's not. It's a 343 account. You run the account, but like I'm sure it sucks to have people tweet at you like stupid shit all the time, but like that isn't Halo specific, man. Think anytime that someone tweets out some Star Wars shit or like tweets out some politics shit, like you just get Twitter just sucks in general. It's just a shit
Don't use
platform.
Twitter.
And
Use Twitter.
that's not specific to Halo, man. That's like if you're like a sport like a player for a sports game and you like fuck a game up, you have a bunch of people giving you death threats because you like fucked their life up or something. So this isn't like some issue that's only in Halo where people that are facing the community get the shit end of the stick. That's just social media. And I do think sometimes people overblow it, like this only happens in Halo because Halo's bad. Like, no, this just happens because Twitter's a dog shit ass platform, and like so is Reddit. It's the job they signed up for. If you don't want to interact with the community, then take a job that's not community facing. Be a developer or just do something else. So it's like,
But here's the thing. It comes down to like what game you work on too. Like I don't know, if I'm looking at Destiny community managers, right? They don't get shit on when they post private stuff. People are like, "Oh, that's cool," right?
Yeah.
But like it also like, maybe like reading the room, and like if you post about your crypto talk, a time where like the fucking franchise is the lowest, you're going to be shit on extra hard. You know what I mean? Like it's just like people have no fucking sympathy at that point. And I mean, sure that's a little extreme, but I mean, what do you expect?
I mean, I'm sure, like the developers of Lawn Mowing Simulator probably get a little bit less heat for the game than developers for Halo.
I can't find this video about the crypto talk. I'm very curious.
But, no, I mean, yeah, fair point. Like, if the product that you work on is in a better spot, people give you more leeway, right? But
yeah,
I mean, it sucks all around. I don't think that people should respond to tweets about randoms. Like anytime the Halo account tweets, even when it's like,
oh god,
just something like Women's
like
Appreciation Day or something, like all the responses are like, "I'm Where's Forge," and it's like, holy fuck, guys. Jesus Christ. But that's just brain dead people on Twitter, man. Like I don't know, man. It is what it is. I don't know, but.
I mean, that's what all Twitter is. It's just people just shouting at each other the whole time.
Yeah, it's just like...
It really should just be called Shouter rather than Twitter.
Yeah, but it's not always like that. It's also because, like, I don't know. It's just a byproduct of the state of the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you gotta realize that. And back in the day, people were just shit talking on forums and stuff. Like, it's not like this is new.
Yeah.
But, like, now it's like, it seems more personal because these people have their personal accounts. Sure, and I mean, I don't know. This is just, I don't know, if the game is shit, people will like be negative about the game everywhere. So I don't know, like if the game ever recovers and is fixed, like this will change too.
And someone give me the sauce on this crypto talk?
Dude.
Later.
Oh my god.
Later off stream.
Okay, sounds good. I just gotta know.
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
It's not that exciting, man.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to like name drop and stuff. So like, I'm
okay. Then I'm not gonna bother. Then it's probably not even. Anyway, but yeah, Twitter bad. People complain. I think complaining is one of humanity's favorite things to do.
It's the easiest, that's for sure.
I mean, especially when you don't have, I don't know. I just don't know. I just hope this game can come back. But wow, it got quiet. Yeah. Tactical ops. Do y'all want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about tactical ops. So
No.
today the fantastic new event rolled out. I saw your tweet, Kevin. I believe this is the last event, right? But
I mean, that's what we've seen.
Yeah,
from all like the leaks and stuff like that. I've heard nothing but I haven't heard anything about any other kind of events happening with Halo, which is like concerning even more. Like I thought this content drop was more like that time between like the delay and when we start getting those monthly dev updates, but I feel like this is the real content drop of season 1.
Yeah,
you actually get the game.
Between now and season 2 is gonna be fucking rough because they clearly had to those events. I mean, in my opinion, the ones we've gotten were clearly only meant to last 3 months, but they've had to stretch out. I don't think Tenrai was supposed to come back 6 times.
No, definitely not.
And some of these events, I even wonder if they were supposed to be multiple weeks. Like I wonder if they were just supposed to be like a week and done, and then like 2 weeks later you get something else. But yeah, so Tactical Ops is the new event based around the Tactical Slayer game mode, which is just SWAT. It has obviously regular BR SWAT, and then it also has Mangler SWAT and Sidekick SWAT, and then next week it's gonna have Stalker Rifle SWAT and Commando SWAT. It obviously comes with like a 10-tier event pass dealie, similar to some of the other smaller events, and that's really the gist of it. It has challenges, and I didn't have high expectations for this event. It's an event based around a game mode that I don't really care for, and the cosmetics are cool, but somehow they managed to disappoint me, even in an event that I didn't think I would care about. Like, first of all, why are the variants split up over 2 weeks? Second of all, how are we still having these same dog shit challenges? How has nobody fixed those?
Yeah.
Somebody just delete them. Go into the fucking file and delete Killjoys and delete Backsmash.
Whoa!
The whole
that
game
takes,
probably breaks.
That takes opening a laptop. How dare you?
Dude,
I can't believe you.
It's a
would
game
suggest
mode.
something.
It's a game mode based around shooting people in the head, and you have to go get assassinations. Like, dude, challenges should be there to complement proficient play. And instead, 343 wants me to play a game where everything is skill-based matchmaking and everything's a fucking sweat fest, and they want me to walk around and try and assassinate people to finish
Mad
a fucking
rat.
No, that's
pass.
not even the worst challenges, dude. The worst challenges is stuff based on how other people
Yeah,
perform.
the Killjoys ones are also fucking. I don't know, man.
Feed them some kills and.
I love the big team when the big team debacle happened when there were challenges for getting splatters for the ultimate reward.
Oh yeah.
One of the most ridiculous challenges is getting a shock arc of 4 people.
What?
Oh yeah, I remember that
Oh
one.
god.
And I don't know if that's
You
still
have to
around.
be a
I
big
saw
team.
something on Reddit that it might be. So good luck to anyone that got that. You can have a
man.
challenge
You
pop.
have to play 7 matches.
Roll that
challenges
real
done?
quick.
I've only
No,
had that
that's
happen
only 7.
once in BTB where I got like an interlink like that.
Yeah.
I
And
wanna
Not
try-
super
Also,
common.
wait. Also, one of the worst things is I've rerolled challenges, and 3 challenge rolls later, I get the same challenge that I rerolled originally.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It's edge.
So like, I don't know.
I
and then
think
with
small
this
pools.
SWAT thing, like, not that it's the worst challenge, but one of them is get 7 Mingler kills, and the SWAT pool is like multiple of either
I
Commando,
hate that.
BR, whatever. I'm like, man, I don't want to have to keep playing SWAT until I get Mangler. And you know what I mean? Like, I
I-
just want things where I can just get it in that game, that regardless of whether I get Mangler or not.
Yeah, I
I
had that.
like
I had that
MCC
one.
had challenges like this as well, but like it just didn't feel so like tedious as Halo Infinite does.
Yeah, so like I feel like MCCs were mostly like the PvP challenges in MCC. I never remember having to go out of my way to complete any of them. They were all things
Yeah.
other than like you had to play specific games. They were all things you would complete just by playing the game normally. The problem with MCC is the problem with Infinite's challenge system is it's not like that. I'm sure over a long enough sample size, you'll get enough assassinations and enough killjoys and things like that to complete these challenges. But like, it's not it. If you're trying to get the challenges done quickly, they're not natural challenges, you know? And I don't understand why. What worries me with something like this is feedback people have been giving since the fucking game came out, since Tenrai came out, and we had these dumb challenges. But they don't remove them. Somebody thinks they're good. And it's like every time that there's an event and it has these terrible challenges and people are frustrated and people don't want to deal with doing them, like that pushes people away from your game. And I don't understand why, like, stuff like that should be I think one of my biggest concerns with this game is that the easy fixes are things that never happen. That, like, I'm not a developer, but how can like adjusting challenges and things like that be difficult? I understand fixing desync and adding new content is something that takes time, but how is having something where like Sempra said, the Mangler challenge earlier, that shit's not fun. Like, I don't want to have a challenge where I have to luck into there's 3 different game modes in SWAT, right? I don't want to have a challenge where I have a 1 in 3 chance to even make any progress. I thought that was the whole reason they revamped a lot of those earlier, where you don't get specifically like CTF challenges anymore or things like that. But then it kind of makes its return with this, where it's like you have to get mangler kills, but if you don't get the mangler SWAT, then you can't make any progress. And it's like, dude, what are we doing here? Like stuff like this, the challenge system around an event should be challenges that I can complete in every fucking game that I enter into. They should be dependent on me maybe not sucking at the game, and if I'm decent at the game, I can get them done faster, like getting killing sprees and double kills and shit like that. That makes sense. That's the point of SWAT. You are trying to win the game. But having to do these weird challenges where it's like, like earlier, I was trying to get a game of Mangler SWAT because I wanted some footage for it, right? It took like 6 games to get one. I just fucking left all the other ones.
Especially when the last Fiesta challenges with the killing spree things was so notoriously bad, and you think that would be a good moment for them to take that feedback, where people would literally orchestrate lobbies of 4 so they could just throw like killing sprees to the enemy team and easily get the Killjoy medals. Like, if the challenges are getting to that degree, you would think they would step in finally and do something. But
I don't think they will. I think there's, I mean...
Well, they obviously didn't because it's on SWAT, so yeah, they...
yeah. I think...
I remember like one challenge I had was like win a stockpile match in BTB. And I'm like, dude, that is such a rare occasion. Like the first of all, to even get stockpile and then win that match as well. That's like a 10-15% chance while playing BTB to complete that at best. You know?
No.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the challenges, I also feel like 343 doesn't, like, they don't want you just focusing on the challenge. They just kind of want you to casually complete them as you play. But the problem is, like, this game doesn't have a progression system, and like that's the only form of progression. So of course you're looking at challenges, and that's what you're focusing on.
Yeah, I
Like
think
Halo Reach had the challenges that, complemented the progression system.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we should really look at it logically. Like, the question is obviously why. Like, why would they keep the challenges in? It can't be too hard to remove some, or just make something more decent. Like, one good idea would be
Because the UI.
get 15
That's what they would
headshots,
say.
get 10 headshots. But logically speaking, why would they leave it in? And the only two things I can think of are like, okay, so for one thing, it's too much work, I guess. So maybe they just don't want to bother with it. Okay, that could be one reason. And then the second reason could be maybe it's intentional. Maybe they want people to have to grind a long time. So they gave them 2 weeks anyway. So the player base will remain longer. Maybe it's just a small tactic they came up with. I don't know. It seems kind of far-fetched, but
no,
I mean, everything's on the table because we're never getting honest answers from 343. We're getting it's the UI, it's the frickin' the lunar equinox was making it hard. Just some random crap just seems to be always a problem, and it's like we're not getting the answer.
I
So
It
think
was high tide. I couldn't code.
I think you're right, but it's like this stuff has a knocking effect on the game. Like, yeah, if you give people dog shit challenges, the people that are playing the game might buy some challenge swaps and be done with it. But they're also like the game's not holding player base. Sure, maybe it's it's a whole mixture of things, and some of these things seem like such like slam dunks. Like, hey, we stopped including terrible challenges. You can now complete, even the BHB, to your point, like it's the only progression system, and maybe they don't want us blasting through these events. Just make the challenges longer. Like, instead of getting 7 kills with a mangler, make it get 30 kills in SWAT, right? Then it doesn't matter what game I play. Maybe it'll take 2 or 3 games. Whereas like right now, currently it probably takes 2 or 3 games on average, right, to complete the mangler challenge, because you have to get a mangler game and then you have to get 7 kills. So it's, I don't know.
I mean, I just did the Mangler challenge in like one game once I got into a Mangler match. But the problem is getting that Mangler match in the first place.
Exactly. It took me 1 game to do it, but you had to get the game mode, and it's just that's the problem is when that's the only way to progress through this event, it's very unfun. If you had an event that just like you just leveled. Like in Valorant or Apex, I don't even look at the challenges in that game because I just play the game and level up, and sometimes I just accidentally complete challenges. But the problem is in this game you have to hyper focus on the challenges because it's the only progression. So when the challenges are stupid, you notice because they piss you off because you aren't progressing at all. Whereas like in Valorant, they could have a challenge to get like 30 judge kills in a 1v6, and I probably wouldn't even ever notice because I never fucking open the screen because I just level up naturally, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I always kind of have like this like dreadful feel whenever I was like when I want to get a weekly ultimate challenge, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, for
It's like,
How is it a 1v6?
I shut up. All right. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's 5 players, you know?
They had to say dreads. What do you mean?
Oh, they say, okay.
Yeah.
The res, yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts. Besides the challenges, what do you guys think of the tactical ops event? It's really bland. I mean, it's SWAT with some variants.
I mean, I'd say like it's just like another example of just kind of showing that like the modes that we got, like Slayer, SWAT, and Fiesta, were definitely just intended to be there just for the events, you know, to kind of get people back into the game. They weren't meant to be like permanent modes that we were just going to keep playing, because that's what makes it feel less eventful, is that since we already had SWAT available for us, but now we have different weapon starts, like woohoo.
I agree with you.
The pass is great. I think the event pass is great for the attack ops. Yeah. It's like what you have to do to get it, the content, not so much.
The armor on this one and stuff's cool. The unlockables are cool. But yeah, that you bring up a good point. The way these events were designed, you can clearly tell they were designed to be limited time. Yeah. But man, did they really think this game was going to last 6 months off of quick play and ranked?
Right. Yeah.
And
without
BTB.
a Team Slayer playlist, like that's what majority of the people are going to be willing to play, just Team Slayer. Sheesh.
Yeah, so I think to wrap all the way back to Elijah's point earlier, I think that's the kind of stuff we need to start seeing fixed. We need to see like we need to see these events not be bad. We need to see challenges not be a pain in the ass. We need to see signs that someone over there is like taking, like there's a lot of feedback that gets thrown at 343 that's stupid, like and I guess there's probably a lot of like noise there, but some of this stuff is so like, I don't know a single person that'll go on, if you go on Twitter or you go on Reddit or you poll random people in the street, I don't know a single person that would tell you this is like a good challenge system, you know what I mean? So it's like some of that stuff should be obvious changes for the future.
Can you interview people on the street?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. They're probably gonna tell. Dude, sometimes in our Valorant games, I ask people if they play Halo, and they all say, "Oh yeah, I played Halo 3." So
I played that back when I was 7.
Actually, recently they know what Infinite is, but most of them didn't play it. Except I found that one dude that was trying to compete. But yeah.
Is this gonna be like a new series on your channel? Like, can you still ask people on the street in 2022?
Dude, I was recording clips for a little bit. I had like a stockpile of them. We would get into Valorant games, and I would just ask people if they've ever played Halo. And their responses were literally always like, "Oh yeah, when I was a kid."
Yeah, that was always been my big concern about Halo. Is that like it's kind of a dad game?
Yeah,
you know, everyone's like, my dad played Halo, you know, back in 2001. Like everyone just kind of knows what Halo is. Like there's nothing really like crazy, cool, exciting about it. It's just a good version of Halo, rather than being like any kind of crazy new experience or something you haven't really played before. And I think Halo's been around for 20 years now. I think people have had time to make up their mind whether or not they like playing Halo on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
and that's why I was always kind of worried about if this game really has like the longevity that I was hoping for, or at least like having enough popularity, I guess, where people would be satisfied with the game, to where, you know, like keep coming back and keep playing the game. I mean, like, it seems like a lot of people who are not playing the game are just people who are just kind of fed up with the lack of content, rather than like it not being a good Halo game like people did with like Halo 4 and 5.
Yeah, I mean the issues this time around seem different than the previous two. I mean, I feel like every 343 game has had wildly different issues, but we kind of lump it all together as like they just consistently failed, but they have failed in a different way every time, to be fair.
Yeah, right. Every time it's been something new.
That makes it almost worse, though.
Yeah.
It's like history
Like,
repeats itself,
They
but
can't even be
diff-
consistent with their failures. Like, I don't know.
I think the only like consistent failures, it seems both 5 and Infinite were like heavily competitive oriented, and I don't know why they would rewrap that tree, because we already proved that didn't work in H5, but we've talked that shit to death last podcast. All right, that's the Tactical Ops event. Does anyone else want to say a final word on it?
Sempra?
Sempra fell
What?
asleep. He's probably playing
Who?
Bell.
No, I'm here.
Didn't pay attention.
All right, let's talk. Let's wrap it up. We'll talk HCS Kansas City. What do you guys? We had
Wait, how many people attended Raleigh?
teams or people?
That was a good question. Teams.
Teams was like 240 or something like that. It was whatever the max
I'm gonna
was.
guess like half of that for KC.
I don't think we get 100
If-
teams.
Is
Yeah.
this an upcoming tournament or?
Yeah, at the end of
Yeah,
April.
the next one.
I don't follow HCS. Okay, so this is upcoming. So, like, what are our thoughts on it in general? What do we know about it? What's
Yeah,
the-
like how many teams? So it's an open tournament. So like Sempra said, the Raleigh one had about like 240 teams show up, like random teams, not pro teams, to show up and play in this open LAN. Like how many teams do you think show up to this one? My guess Sempra's under 100. Like we've already
How many
seen
did
the
you say?
online cups are.
Well,
are
this is in KC, which is like I think a better city.
than Raleigh.
Yeah. So with
Yeah,
that
it's
alone, it
dead
might
center,
do
too.
better.
it is in the center of the country, so then it might be a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I'm
people willing to
thinking.
make that
But
travel.
I still feel like it's like a random ass city, too. I don't know.
Kansas City.
Like-
well, kind of. It's a big city. I don't know if we're talking the Missouri or the
in 2
Kansas
states,
side.
that's how big the city is.
Yeah, it's that big. I mean, it's definitely a populated area in the central U.S. I mean, there's a whole lot of nothing out there, but
Mhm.
probably
Very
beautiful
true.
nothing. Haven't been to Kansas in like ages, but Kansas City, I think that's a better venue. I think Rash is probably completely on the money and how many teams would be there. I mean, I don't see a lot being there, especially because this game just isn't competitively viable. Not just because of the glitches and the issues for just scrims and whatnot, and the player base dying. It's like even the tournament. Like I don't know if y'all saw the Twitter footage of just like
That happens
People-
on a regular basis.
people
I know what
crashing
you're talking about.
mid-game.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I'm talking about? They're crashing. It's like, and it seems
Yeah.
like he's got the ball and he's standing still. It looks like, and it shows like his cam, and he's all mad. He's like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "It looks like he disconnected. He DC'd."
I feel like every time I tune in to like a stream of a Halo event, it's somebody disconnecting. Like,
Do they just
it's
restart the
so
match at that point, or
frequent.
what?
It's too
Yeah,
frequent.
it
kind
kinda
of depends on the game
situation.
mode. All right, so
It's
for
so unstable.
reference, I want to bring these up because I think these numbers correlate to the LAN, right? When the game dropped, we were maxing out online tournaments at 512 teams, right? The last one at the end of February hit 240. When the free for all series dropped in started at the end or in January, those were also maxing out at 512 people. Only 101 players signed up. Oh wait, this is the next one. I'm sorry. The last free for all event, which would have been okay, the free for all events are still almost filling up. So I guess that's a decent enough sign. I don't know. Oh no, this one had 331 players. So they're like
it's sad, your Ash.
they're like half full. But I don't know. I just with how many people I see on Twitter that are saying they're gonna stop competing and stuff, I just feel I don't know. I don't feel this tournament will have near the
I think it'll break 100. I mean, people will be more enticed to go
definitely
to
more,
an actual LAN.
'Cause that's like
Just
the
'cause it's
solid
fun.
part
It's
about
fun
this
to go
game
to
is
an
the-
event and like they won't have to worry about cheaters and stuff. So I do think we'll break 100 teams.
I mean, that's
I
the
think we'll
solid
get, like,
part about this game
140.
is like the competitive gameplay. Like, yeah, there's like desync and like cheaters online, and the ranking system kind of like can be questionable at times. But I mean, that's like the main thing that people like tune in to watch on Twitch is like these pros to stream Halo, doing streaming scrims on top of that too. Not even just playing matchmaking. And so
That reminds me.
I think we're
like-
gonna get a pretty good viewership from it. At least
I'm sure we
not
would.
as much as Raleigh, but it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, Halo's bad because I say so. Nobody's playing it. There's still a lot of people playing the game, and I'm sure there's still a lot of people who are willing to compete now. Probably less, definitely less than there used to be, especially because of that whole DCing and desync issues and just all of the issues that plagued the tournaments before. But like, what kind of standard is that setting? Imagine you're watching the Super Bowl and like there's a 50% chance like every minute just men in black will rush onto the field and just tackle one of the football players and drag him out and he's out of the game. Like how that's what like it's not just like game. It's not a game at this point. This is like a professional career, you know. It just doesn't
It's definitely
seem
been
Yeah, and
so
I
much
mean,
better.
I was some of those games at Raleigh, like a team would be winning, somebody would disconnect, they'd replay it, and then they would lose that game. Where like they might have won it the first time around. Like that's so
It's
fucked.
so unfair
Right.
and unbelievably disheartening. Like, imagine if you were betting on fantasy football. Imagine if you were that guy and your career got ruined in football because of like, oh, the men in black, they got you. The DCers, they found you, they took you just by chance. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you got taken. I know that's a really weird metaphor, but that's like I guess that's the best way I can think of it. Like, is that
Well, and
okay?
people would argue, well, anybody can disconnect, so it's fair. Yeah, but not everyone does, so it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for like the pros in this game, man. I mean, for the same way I feel bad for like content creators. It's just like this game has it's not providing the platform that a lot of people thought it would, right? And
Right.
it's just
You don't think so?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
just-
think
I mean,
it's
like,
a,
yesterday.
I think it's a bad
That's-
sign how little when the game dropped, like all the pros were streaming and like playing all the time, and dude, that so many of them like don't even. I mean, they do their scrims and shit, but like none of them are streaming matchmaking. Fucking like the KCP players were playing H5-8s the other night. Like, I think that shines a light into even the state of the competitive game when your top tier players aren't even like. Imagine, I mean, I'm sure Valorant players like play Counter-Strike and stuff in their free time, but dude, just I don't know, it like not to the same degree.
Yeah, I mean, also since they've had that's like the long-standing like mangler meta that's been going on right now.
Yeah, I
and it
think
hasn't
that's
been touched
gonna
at
be
all.
that's gonna be a thing too. I saw on Twitter today, like Eli the Ninja was asking if everyone was gonna GA the Mangler for KC, and like
I
some
saw
of
that too. Like
some
I think Snakebite mentioned that too. Yeah.
yeah, some of the other pros were responding like we would love to, but there's a couple teams that we know won't do it. But apparently, like those teams are on board now. So are we gonna have a LAN where
I
nobody?
mean, it's been done before.
Yeah, I know, but like, dude, that's why don't they just address the Mangler? Like, we're supposed to
I
have this
know.
team that addresses these things. If every single one of your top 16 teams is unwilling to play with the Mangler on the map, delete it off the map. I'm sorry, like
Right.
you can force variety into competitive, but if every single team at this point is not willing to play with it, either the gun needs to be deleted out of ranked or it needs to be reworked. Like, it clearly isn't working. They don't like it. I don't think the Mangler makes a good viewing experience. It's not like a high skill gun that makes cool clips. You just see a dude camping in a corner and he punches someone with no radar. Like, I think it makes the game overall worse. And the thing that people always say is like, oh, like the Halo pros, like they just want it to be the BR and that's it. And it's like, that's not even true. The sandbox in this game is actually really good. Like, you see pros use the sidekick, you see pros use the plasma pistol. You used to see Lucid use like the
Sentinel
pulse
beam as well.
The Sentinel beam's good. The sometimes people will use the commando. Like, the shock rifle's good. The sniper rifle. Like, you see all these things being used, and you would see more of that if the Mangler didn't dominate. Like, if the Mangler wasn't constantly spawning.
Totally.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause it's like a-
understand like why the game never allowed for such editing and game rules for one thing, and then second, how come HS? Well, I guess because of the lack of game editing, but I don't know. HS hypothetically step in like, yeah, no manglers if you touch it. Fuck you. Let's go. I don't know.
What,
But-
I know
don't
that like
under-
was it like the last Call of Duty when when the first events were happening? I think they GA'd quite a few things actually within the sandbox. Of course, the thing with the Call of Duty that was like, well, that's not on the map where people can just grab it. You know, they just don't put it in the
that's the
loadout
big
kind of
difference.
stuff.
Is they GA a ton of shit in Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
sometimes it's like a little overboard, right? But the thing with that is it's all loadout stuff. So like as a casual viewer, it's not as awkward. Like you won't even, if you're a casual viewer, you probably won't even know they GA'd X attachment on the MP5, right? You'll just be like, oh,
Right.
the pros don't use it. If they actually GA this at Kansas City and it's not addressed by HCS, that fucking gun is gonna sit on the map. Someone could pick that. Like you can break GAs in Call of Duty like Shotzi did the other day, but like it's gonna be a lot more weird when it's just sitting there on the map. And I
You got money
yeah.
on the line. People are gonna do what it takes.
yeah.
I would at least.
Well, honestly, like
Yeah,
the
they would.
custom game support to even change the weapons that spawn on the map isn't there. It's either you want weapons on the map or you don't want weapons on the map. It's binary, kids. 0, 1. What do you want? You know, and Halo frickin' CE, you know, from 2001, you couldn't change every individual weapon like you could in Forge, but you could be like, oh, I want all shotguns on the map, or I want all
had at least
snipers.
some type of control.
Yeah, you had at least like a degree of it, like vehicles on map, no scorpions or only scorpions, you know. But like
Yeah.
what is even this game, you know? And I mean, I have to thank this game. It's the only reason I'm relevant, but relevant in quotes. But it would have been so sweet if it launched better cuz you know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, also like they advertise it with like we have this new engine, we can make turnarounds and like fixes and make a lot faster than we could previously, and yet like people can, especially in competitive, everyone hates the Mangler, and the Mangler's still sitting just as it was day one.
I'm just thinking, have they eroded all of the trust to 343? Like, have they just completely eroded every single statement they say? It just has zero standing. No one's gonna believe anything. Like, we're over here saying they say it's coming in season 2, and we immediately say season 3, baby, because
Yeah,
like they just keep telling us things and then it never comes true. It's almost like I feel like I'm in a Kickstarter scam. It's like stretch goals. We'll get it out. We'll get the product out soon. I swear. But it
it's
keeps
Star
getting
Citizen,
pushed
but
back.
in Halo.
Yeah, it's feature creep. It's terrible. But in the opposite is here. They won't release the full game of Star Citizen, but they're at least adding stuff. Halo Infinite, they just won't do either. You know? Oh baby.
I mean, they're working on it, but yeah, it's like the state, yeah, just like launch of it was just such a. I guess I hate to use the word bare bones because I didn't really feel like it was like that, but it was very core to the experience of what Halo is. I guess is the way to put it.
Halo Infinite launched and it's basically like a mayonnaise sandwich. It's 2 white bread pieces and just mayonnaise. Which I mean, like, it's good if you're starving. Oh man, I've been craving a sandwich forever, but where are the condiments? It's not even toasted, man. Like, what is this? You know, it's just I don't know. I just needed a few more minutes in the oven.
We got a taste of what a Halo revival could have looked like at launch. I mean, if this game was in a better state, then all that success and those players could have been maintained. But unfortunately, that's just not the case.
Yeah, and I don't get it. I don't know why time is so infrequent between updates. Why fixing simple patches has been overlooked between. Dude melees me earlier in the game and it just eats it. I'm like, haha, I'm so sorry. The game just destroyed you. And it's just not fair to them. It's not fair to the players. It's not fair to the fans, you know? I mean, life isn't fair, but. And I'm being very generous, but at some point, it's just like. It really is saddening because I go back and I play the other games and it's not nostalgia that made them good. They are truly good games.
Yeah, I know.
And
I've
I
been
want
playing
those
MCC
again.
recently. Having a blast.
I
Been
played
playing
Halo
Halo 2
C's
Project
campaign.
Cartographer. Loving it.
Exactly. And I'm just like astounded. It's like what went wrong? Again, I want to be a fly on the wall and I want to go back in time and watch 343. I want to know what's going on in there. It'd be so fascinating, I bet. But
Yeah.
Got any code in there?
no.
What's up?
Huh?
No, I didn't hear what Kevin
Who?
said, but all right,
Oh,
guys.
I was making like that Tyrone Big. I was like, y'all got any
Oh,
Kraken?
I
Like, y'all got any code?
I got you. All right. I
That's
think
great.
we've
Really
hit
whole.
everything on my little agenda here. I think at this point,
Wait, there's one more thing.
what's one more?
Make a raft
We did
sandwich.
that throughout the entire thing, so don't worry about it. What if
We just have to talk about
343
Halo.
Shadow drops Halo 2? Or sorry, Season 2? Fuck it, go for it.
What if?
I don't
Maybe.
think so.
I don't
We-
consider it as a
My
possibility.
Well, okay. Last point. So recently, Eckhart. Let me see if I can find the tweet. He tweeted out some nice little graphs. Everyone loves graphs, and I love graphs. But people on Twitter get sad when I tweet graphs.
They yell at you.
Yeah, he tweeted a nice little image where he showed that MCC is getting awfully close to surpassing Halo Infinite on Steam.
Uh-oh.
Do we? I think there's a very real possibility MCC passes Halo Infinite on Steam before Season 2 hits, and
Yeah.
that has to
Oh, it's
be
gonna happen.
one of the biggest failures like in gaming. I mean, Battlefield's doing it currently, so it's not like we're unique, but man,
Yeah,
Way
that-
I was just
that
watching
game
the
sucks,
Battlefield
too.
commentary, and like this guy like
free to play.
was posting like clips of like him doing well in Battlefield. It was all against bots. Like no one's playing the game.
Dude,
Like
I
you
can't
guys
believe
noticed-
80% of his kills within the video were all just against bots.
pro gamer.
Yeah, and like
Dude,
Elijah
dude,
mentioned,
because
like
again,
his fault.
Infinite's free, so
It's a play game, yeah. So it's
yeah, it's
the
MCC is
on
not,
MCC isn't bringing people that over Infinite.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're
But it's
totally
like
right.
if you're a Halo fan and you want to play Halo right now, it's like why would you choose Infinite over MCC? MCC is just such a bigger package, like
I know.
you know.
Well, here's something that's kind of shocking to me. I don't know if y'all. So we mentioned, Kevin, you mentioned the Battlefield bots situation. I had a situation similar to that, and what I was doing is I was playing BTB after the second fix came out, and I ran into a 343 guy, and I was like, holy crap, I've never ran into a dev in a Halo game. You know, since I was a kid, I was playing Halo 3. I was like, what if I run into a Bungie guy and I get Recon A? You know, I was super excited. And I'm like, no way, it's a 343 guy. He's got the blue flames. And I chat with him for a bit, and he's like, hey, and he's super talking to him, and that's real cool. And then I get into the next BTB match, not the next one, but the one right after, and I'm like, huh, there's 2 more 343 guys here. And I'm like, there's not a whole lot of people at 343. How am I running into so many? I know they're trying to play test it because it just came out and they're all queuing into BTB, but how did I just run into 3? I think it was like 5 at the end of like my play session, 343 guys. And I'm like, is the player base that low that I'm able to run into that many? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's kind of like touching on like what I was talking about earlier, where it's like playing with people with like Onyx level players recently, Onyx players, and we're getting like gold players in our lobby. Like, what the hell's that? What's going on with that? Yeah,
There's not enough,
If
man.
the name 343's in it, doesn't that mean they're a bot?
I don't think. Wait, no. They had the 343 emblem. They had the emblem, and it was them. It was players. They were chatting.
yeah, they have like this like unicorn coding or whatever that's like specific to like only the employees.
They have the blue flames, and they would talk
Yeah.
in the chat. I'd say, "Hey, 343, what's up?" And they'd go, "Hey," and I remember saying like, "How's season 2 looking?" And I got a reply back, "It looks sick." And I'm like, "I hope so, man." And then I didn't want to bug him too much because I know a lot of people probably annoy him in the chat, but I just wanted to see how he responded. I was like, "How's Forge?" And he's like, "Just playing BTB." And I'm like, "All right, I probably bugged him. I'll stop here." And I was like, "Cool, have a good one, man." And because I was like,
you got a
"GG's."
2-day ban.
Did you also say hashtag fix your game?
Dude, if I said that, I would have logged into Halo Infinite and it would have been like, get wrecked lol. And it's like, the
Just
only
been-
playlist available is Fiesta.
Yeah, I feel like if
343
I
soft.
was a 343 dev, I don't think I would play this game on like my dev account. I'm gonna be honest
No,
with
I
you.
wouldn't. I just straight up wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd 100% play on like an alt account.
You guys
much
remember
do
when
you get
Yushek
yelled
played
at?
that cheater on his team? On stream?
Yeah.
Did he, wait,
Times.
was it just some random guy?
Of course, it's a random guy, but it was
Dude
just funny.
cheating.
They're on the same team.
Oh, yeah.
But All right. I think that does, and I think we all had a good rant about Halo. We can probably, I think, I'll round up the troops again. I think the next time we have anything to talk about is probably a couple weeks after season 2. We can talk about the reception of it. I think it's going to be very, very scarce between now and season 2. I think it's going to be rough.
During the dark times.
Show coming out.
What's up? Oh, the TV show?
The dark.
Dude,
Peach.
Elijah, me, you, and Luke
Yeah.
could do a weekly TV show podcast.
Oh, don't add me in here like I'm not gonna watch the show or anything. It's fine.
Nah. All right.
Wait, this is even gonna release weekly? I thought they were just throwing all.
Oh, is it?
episodes at
Is it
once.
all one? Oh, never mind.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
weekly.
I thought it was
only
I just haven't
Netflix does-
seen.
I don't think they
just
do
haven't
like
seen.
Netflix style where they
I'm
release
not.
the whole thing all at once.
I'm not very happy that it's only on another streaming service. I'm like,
Yeah.
how many of these do I need? It's like I'm
You
just
can
paying
get
for cable
Paramount
again.
Plus on Amazon for 99 cents for 2 months right now.
Okay, that's not bad. I don't know. I don't really think it looks
Do you
that
have
jaw
a
dropping to me.
T-Mobile
revival in
as
there.
a carrier?
Like Carly got a. What's up, Kevin?
You have T-Mobile as your carrier because I think that's how I was able to get
Regretfully
it.
so. Regretfully so, dude.
So you might be
If-
able to get it through their carrier then. Like it's
Maybe
some kind of
so.
plans.
Yeah, find the Halo,
I'd
win
be
the
good with
war. It's the goofiest shit I've ever heard.
Dude, when I heard that, I was
First
like, dude,
time I ever heard them refer to it as the Halo. Like they always just call it Halo in the games.
Yeah,
And now it's
find Halo.
the Halo.
The Halo.
Master Chief and Halo 1, he's like, this is
The Master
Halo.
Chief and the Halo are gonna go to
Literally,
get the
do you guys
Cortana.
remember that that shitty show from 2004? It was like called like Heroes, and they had like a tagline like "Save the cheerleader, save the world." They literally just took that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was
like
like
a-
that was an epic season for Heroes. I remember that. That was like a viral thing back before viral.
That was
Yeah, it was like
Solid
all over
show.
like posters. Yeah.
I liked Captain Keyes' quote in Halo C. Why didn't they just use it as a callback where he's like, if we have Halo, we can control the galaxy or whatever. What was it? He was like, we can stop the Covenant from winning the war. What did he say? He said something in his gravelly voice about
He said,
The
find
Halo
the
ring.
Halo, win the war.
He said find the Halo.
find the Halo. I'm freaking dead
Find
right
the
now.
Halo, win the war.
It should be called the Halo TV show, not Halo TV show.
Watch
The
it.
Find
Halo.
the Halo TV show.
A
Save the cheerleader,
series.
save the world. Cut the cheerleader like falling off a bridge and like smacking onto the ground and then getting back up.
Also, what about the outer colonies and the inner colonies? Aren't
Yo,
there
why the fuck they
multiple
drive in
worlds?
my car? Can we talk about that? I drive the same car as the people on like 10 Planet number 3.
Put it on Uber. Yo, I drive the Halo show car.
Yo, Loki, mine even looks a little bit better condition. Not much, just a little bit.
you got the Iridanus 4 model,
All right.
the
I think
Chevy
the fuck-
Tahoe.
I think the podcast has run its course. Does anyone want to say goodbye?
No.
I
Let's
am
take it
tuning
back.
into
Fair
KC for your infinite drops.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching.
Someone pick me up for your
Fun.
KC team. I don't plan on playing the game between now and KC, but I will play it at LAN. So pick
You'll
me
be
up.
the
I
cheerleader.
mean, I haven't booked my tickets yet or anything, but I'm pretty much like ready to go about picking up everything, going to KC.
I'm going for sure. Me and Luke are gonna drive down. I might just
Wait, can you buy tickets yet?
No, they haven't
Not
announced
yet.
it.
Okay, you
We're
can
gonna
have to
get news
remind me,
this week.
Raj.
Yeah.
You have to
I
write.
will. The dude. All right. So like, I don't know. Part of me wants to go compete, but I might also just go get drunk for an entire weekend. So we'll see.
Planning
but-
to do that.
Yeah. But
When Halo pushes you to alcoholism, dude.
I just don't know if I have it in me to like try and find a team and like scrim and shit, because that involves playing Infinite and like it makes me.
I did like
very
the
frustrated.
last like in-person event I went to was a DreamHack Anaheim back in 2020, and like they were like, dude, come on, like you can coach for us. Like all you do is like call out like times and stuff. Like you know you play competitive reach. I'm like online, but like I'm just trying to chill, bro. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to sweat it
Alright.
up and do like
What-
sweaty call outs.
What settings
around for
are you
3
talking
hours.
about, Fluffy? He said talk about the settings. I don't know what that means.
Fluffy.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Can you? I mean, you guys gotta keep your stuff. But alrighty, I don't. I don't know what settings you're talking about, so I think we end it here. We'll go raid. Someone redeemed. Oh my god, you redeemed 2 different things. Someone redeemed a raid thing before the Kevin one, so I'll refund you, and I apologize, Kevin.
Sheesh.
We rated
I've
you last
redeemed it
time, though,
earlier.
right?
We did.
Thank you all for talking. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for
A
having me
little
on.
depressing, but
Yeah.
maybe when we meet
It
again.
was just a Sag cast.
Yeah, maybe when we meet again, it will be like the ultimate happy cast.
Yeah,
Oh
maybe.
no, that won't be for another like.
No, that's not possible.
Let's see. We'll do this. We'll do this every 2 months.
Oh,
18
We'll-
podcasts from now,
we'll-
maybe.
We'll
Maybe
be
after we
back.
play-
Expect another podcast after season 2 drops, unless some major stuff happens between now and then. I'll round up whoever wants to come back on, basically. So
I'm down. I'm totally down. I'm still gonna do Halo stuff. I'm probably gonna do other stuff too, but
yeah.
the content drought is really kicking in. I'm starting to get thirsty.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a nice night.
Goodbye,
Thanks
everyone.
for watching.
Bye.
Enjoy your night. Hopefully, playing good video games.